Hello there, and welcome back.
What is this place?
Disconnected.
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 Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected. Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
Disconnected.
I'm starting to feel disconnected.
You have reached a number that has been disconnected.
Hello there, and welcome to a Friday stream in Australia with Tony Meachus from the Imprint Cast right next to me. Hello.
Hello. I don't usually say this, but I'll say it to everybody. G'day, everyone. How you going? I hate saying it, so I never say it, but I'll just say it for you guys.
This is wild. Have never done this from another country. I've never been in another country before this week. I had hoped that a bunch of Australian viewers would be in the chat. We've got no Paul Berryman in the chat, which is wild. But that's because Paul is also here with us. What's up, Paul?
Hello. And I also say g'day, everyone. Yeah, it's so great to be here. And as I say, it's weird not putting anything in the chat yet. So, yeah, this is why. Thanks, Ryan.
Yes, Chris is saying Tony's got a crazy collection. You have no idea, Chris. Just to kind of pan around a little bit, Tony has an absolutely insane collection. Oh my God, it's still going. I did not expect that to go like that. That was a really great effect. And it also goes even further that way. It is a wild... Whoops, I'm about to knock this over.
That's all right.
Yes, I am in Australia, live with Tony. We've got Paul. I get to meet Paul in person, I think, tomorrow for the first time.
Yeah.
It is going to be a crazy, crazy week. We've got a lot to discuss, obviously. I've never done this while it's been daylight outside, so this is exciting. I am well rested. I want a little more Tony in the shot.
Okay.
There. This is yes, I'm sorry. Silent Mandible saying I messed him up because I said it was Friday. It's Friday. This is the first time I've ever done it on a Friday. It is Friday afternoon. We've got so much to cover, but first of all, Paul, how you going? That's the Australian way of saying that.
Exactly. That's how we say it. Yeah, I'm going very well. Thank you. Thank you for asking me to be part of this today. You know, now you're transmitting from my time zone. Always it's Friday afternoon here, and now it is for you as well. Sure, it feels great for you to do it a bit earlier in your day. You're still going to have a whole evening left after this.
We've got a whole day planned, which is
wild.
We got a
day planned. Don't you worry.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Reggie's saying, I hope the future's better than the president. It is in Australia, not in the U.S. So best of luck there. We're all fucked there. Australia, we got a lot to cover. Tony, how's everything been with you?
Been good. You know, getting episodes ready for the show. I'm currently editing an episode dedicated to Life Force, which Paul is a part of. But It's going to be nuts because so far, Paul, you don't know this. It's a rough time of 3 hours.
That's quite cut down already, too.
No, I'm going to be cutting down a lot. Don't you worry. But yeah, other than that, glad to have Ryan here. Happy to help him out and be his tour guide to Sydney and his lovely wife Laura. Looking forward to showing them the main sites in Sydney.
Here's another Australian. What's up, Danny?
Danny, how you doing?
So not on the vanity side, but how was it meeting in person? Any thoughts on meeting me in person or hanging out?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't realize how tall you were. But yeah, other than that, it was an absolute pleasure. I waited for you at the airport yesterday at 6:30 in the morning here in Sydney time. And yesterday was very strange. It was a beautiful, hot, sunny day.
It was a very hot day.
But in the evening, we were caught in a torrential downpour. And it was not pleasant. But
the rain was one thing, but the wind, after we came out of that last shop, the wind was insane yesterday downtown.
It was. And today I'll be doing more tour guiding with Ryan and Laura, of course. It'll be fun. And what else?
I went to my first JB Hi-Fi. We'll talk about that in pickups and some other stuff. Let's see. Anything else that you want to shout out for the upcoming week or?
Well, as we're going to be announcing, Imprint's got a lot of announcements coming up this week. So
yeah,
I have a feeling there will be one more today. I don't really know, but you never know. And but with Imprint, you can never tell nowadays. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to everybody from here in the Australian film physical media community meeting you and Laura personally.
We cannot wait.
It's going to be a great one.
Chris is asking if we're going to tour the Imprint headquarters. Sadly, Imprint and Umbrella are both headquartered about 8.5-hour drive away from Sydney over in Melbourne. So no, don't get to visit them. We are going to tour as much as we can, which a couple things we're going to keep on the DL just in case they don't pan out. But we are going to talk about those soon. I did go to historic theater yesterday, the Ritz. You want to tell them about the Ritz?
The Randwick Ritz, the Ritz Cinema in Randwick, of course. It's one of the oldest heritage-listed cinemas in Sydney. That was established in 1937. And they still screen 35 and 75 millimeter prints in that cinema to this day. And it's the one cinema I go to all the time. I absolutely love that cinema. It's really good.
Yeah.
But there's a few more I want to take you to. Don't you worry. We got time.
Cannot wait. Let's jump into some pickups then. Paul, what have you been picking up recently?
Yeah, I've got a few things. So literally just yesterday arrived the 2 new Wave titles direct from the New Wave warehouse, which I'm sure you've seen as well. Nighty Night and Norioko's Dinner Table. So looking forward to watching those because, as we know, John has launched New Wave and it's a great, he's doing great work.
Not only we're staying at the New Wave warehouse right now.
You are.
Literally half an hour ago, I got from Outrun DVD Spaceways from Hammer. I've been collecting most of these Hammer 4Ks, as you and Tony know. Really enjoy them. And the rest is some Imprint, which has just come in. The New Avengers on Blu-ray.
Thick box.
I don't have
a nice thick one, which I love the back cover of. Like the front cover is cool, but that back cover, once you remove the J card, that's really nice.
Yeah, I prefer that one, to be honest.
Yeah. And the 4th TV Movie of the Week collection.
I love those TV Movie of the Week collections.
They're great, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Since we did the recording on this, I'd gone back and now finished collection 3. So I'm up to this one now. And like, they're all just so enjoyable and they're easy to just put on of an evening. You can watch 1 or 2 and they're just great stories. Like you don't really get TV movies like these anymore. But these ones are a bit longer in length. So I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Nice. What about you? You've got a hell of a stack.
I got quite a bit right here. But we'll start off the local releases from Australia first. Of course, I got the recent release of The Housemaid. I've never seen this, but
4K from Lionsgate. Laura just watched that on a plane on the way here, actually.
Oh, I heard it was really good though.
It's decent, yeah.
Then from Viavision, I got one of my favorite courtroom. I don't care what anyone says. I call this a courtroom thriller, even though it's supernatural.
That's what it is.
The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Got this one. And also from Viavision, I know Suzanne Boleyn, one of our family members, loves this, but it's Sheena, the box set, which is in the movie and the complete series on DVD. The movie's on Blu-ray though. And to my shocking dismay, I have never owned this film on any physical media until now.
Nice.
The Blues Brothers. Never owned it.
Steelbook.
It's so good.
Decent steelbook too, based on one of the original poster designs.
Yes. And of course, as Paul just mentioned, we've got the 2 new New Wave titles, Noriko's Dinner Table and Nighty Night, of course, from the warehouse. And now that's all the local stuff. And now I've got more. I've got the US imported stuff coming up. And Ryan, I took you to a shop yesterday called Top 10. They have quite a lot. Do you want to explain what you thought?
It was a great place. Very much a hole in the wall shop that is kind of separated, like sunk in from the main road. So I feel like a lot of people would probably skip over it. But if you go back in there, it's a gem. They had quite a few, probably a couple hundred laser discs on top of at least 500 or 600 DVDs, probably 1,000 Blu-rays. And then shockingly, the best part is about, I don't know, probably 200 or 300 modern 4K releases, even some steelbooks. They had the Wind River Walmart exclusive steelbook here in Australia somehow. They said they got it from Germany and wanted to charge 135 Australian for it, which that's a little out of my my money range. But yeah, it was a great shop. Little Asian ladies running the shop. They were great. Asked a bunch of questions about, well, tell us about how it works in the US. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Very informative, actually. So yeah, when I went to Top 10 recently, because that's why I sometimes buy my US titles, and of course from Outrun DVD, as Paul usually does. I got Killers of the Flower Moon from Criterion.
Nice.
Here we go. And then, as Paul just mentioned, I also got my copy of Spaceways today.
Incredible.
And I'm a huge Hammer fanatic. I got the new Fear in the Night box set.
Love that.
And of course, come on, cult lovers everywhere. Faster Pussycat Kill Kill. That's another good one here. And I've got a couple of Warner Archives. I got the one of my favorite Betty Davis films, The Man Who Came to Dinner, one of her rare comedies, which is highly recommended. And lastly, I got Looney Tunes Collection, The Collector's Vault Volume 2. So that's my pile for the last week or so.
Not too bad. I got to be honest, I did not expect to have any pickups, but we went to JB Hi-Fi for the first time, and I got 3 titles in. First in, no U.S. release on the horizon. Considering what we're going to talk about from A24 this week, there might still be a chance for it. But Sorry Baby is on Blu-ray in Australia from VVS Films. Thankfully, I've got that, and it's got an audio commentary on it. Another one with no U.S. release, and Paramount will likely never be able to put it out because I think it's in conjunction with MGM or Amazon in the U.S., and that is The Passenger with Kyle Gallner. This is, I think, the second legal release of this in the world, but probably not going to get a release in the U.S. And then one, I'm probably an idiot, probably should not have bought this, but it will likely be coming out soon. We've got in Kokuo, which will likely get another release either from Criterion or somebody like that eventually. But this is out here from Madman, and I have been dying to see it. So now I can watch it, buy the 4K upgrade later, and sell that for like $4. So who's dumb now? Me, definitely me. But I can't wait to see it. Recent watches, what have you been checking out, Paul?
Yeah, so recently been watching, as I said, the TV Movie of the Week Collection 3. So that was Fame is the name of the game, Brian's Song, which was my first time watching that.
Nice.
And oh, what an ending. And Matter of Life and Death with Rod Taylor in the lead role. Very interesting set of films. We're going to have to double check my letterbox, as you know, I'm quite active on there. See what else I finished. Yes, Magnificent Seven, the 4K from Imprint. First time seeing Magnificent Seven, but of course I turned it on and I'm like, I recognize this music. I'd heard the music before, but I hadn't seen the film, and now I've seen it, and I absolutely loved that. And also a rewatch of Twins of Evil on the Imprint 4K. Which looked stunning. Like that
Nice.
4K restoration, which Imprint did themselves, just looked so good, and like the colors really popped, and it was just beautiful. Like this is probably now coming up, you know, one of my favorite Hammer films now. So
yeah, that 4K of Twins of Evil looked amazing. It's incredible.
I can't wait to get that in, and then that and the Spellbinder. I'm really eager to see the Spellbinder 4K.
Yeah, I got that one in. That's still on the watch pile, which is
too,
big pile, but yeah.
What about you? Other than watching TV shows, what have you been checking out?
I have not watched much, to be honest with you, because this week I have been really busy setting up the place here for a couple of special people who are staying here for a few days. So didn't have much time on that department. But I had the most recent one I watched, which is also one of my recent purchases, is the theatrical cut of Salem's Lot. And I have never seen the theatrical cut. I've only seen the television version, and it is incredible. It is so good. But give me the 3-hour version any day. But it looked amazing on 4K.
I bet. I still have not received mine. So eager to see that. A couple things. Obviously, I'm in Australia now, but next week we are going to be in New Zealand. So we finished up the third of the Lord of the Rings films with the kids. Showed them Return of the King, and it was great. I mean, everybody knows it's like a 5-star perfect film. I can be honest, I'm not a huge fantasy person, so I'm still not super invested in it, but it was great to see, great to watch, great to see my kids fall in love with the complex storytelling and love all the characters and ask the proper questions with it. I did want to shout out too, is on the plane, I actually had enough time to watch a movie in between everything. I still don't understand. On the plane, I edited like 7 podcast episodes, an interview for a disc, and watched a movie. Oh, and read a book, an entire book. But the movie I watched, My Dead Friend Zoe, that came out with Natalie Morales just a couple years ago and Ed Harris. It is about an individual that's in the military. I believe she was in the army, just like her grandfather, and she is sitting in a situation where she's going to classes to handle PTSD, and you find out that her friend, Natalie Morales, this is not a spoiler, it's a part of the beginning of the film, she died a few years ago, and they go through this whole story of how obviously the memory of her friend is affecting her and making her change her decisions in her life and all that. Also find out that PTSD is affecting her grandfather and other people in her life and just how she deals with it. It was well acted. It was great. The lead was especially great, and I feel terrible because I don't remember her name. She was a new to me actor, but did come across as a little bit cheesy, a little bit preachy at times, but it was kind of the perfect plane movie. So it was a good time. It was a really, really good one to watch on a plane. Everybody should check it out. I believe it does have a Blu-ray release if you're into that. So yeah, that's all I got.
I haven't seen that one. I must give it a go.
Jeremy Long is a big defender of it because he loves Natalie Morales. Okay. So yeah, it was one of the reasons why I checked it out.
Fair enough. And plus, it was a 16.5-hour flight, so you had plenty to do. So
it was, good. And I only got like 4 or 5 hours sleep. The rest of it was kind of crazy too, because we left at 9:30 Central Time, and we were darkness the entire time. We were essentially chasing the sun coming up, and when we got here it was 6:30 a.m. So it was going to be daylight the rest of the day after that. So it's a nice time to just make the best of it. Basically, it was a nice quiet flight.
Sounds like a productive time on the flight.
I did my best. It was quite uncomfortable for somebody who's 6'5" sitting on that plane for that long. Let's see. We're not going to really have a super long discussion tonight because we got a full day to go into. So we got the announcements. Anything else that you or Paul want to talk about before we jump into it?
I can't think of anything on my end. Paul, how about you?
Yeah, let's get stuck into these announcements.
Let's do it then. We get to start with Australian group Imprint Films.
Here we go.
On May 27th, they're putting out a film focus box set on Rachel Weisz. These are covering films from 97, 98, and 2011. What's kind of odd is all of the Imprint titles that we're announcing tonight, you cannot even purchase yet. They've got them visible on their site, but none of them will be available to purchase until April 15th. Now, the only thing that's a bright side about all that is there's likely going to be a discounted bundle. They've been doing that recently. Yeah. So the film focus box sets, you'll be able to get both of those for a discount. There's going to be some Imprint Asia titles. You'll probably be able to get all 3 of those for a slight discount. And when I say slight, their bundle discounts are usually pretty. They're not going to make them cheap or anything, but they're fairly significant, so it's definitely worth the time. So this one, we've got Swept from the Sea from 97, we've got I Want You from 98, and The Deep Blue Sea from 2011. 97 and 98 are both worldwide first on Blu-ray. This is pretty cool. As far as the extras on here, we've got the uncut 114-minute international cut of Swept from the Sea. We've got, that is correct. And then I Want You's got a new commentary by Keith Phipps and an interview with Aaron McNamee. We've got The Deep Blue Sea with a new featurette by Lucy Bolton on Rachel and Blue, new interview with the production designer James Merrifield, and a commentary by Terrence Davies and Ian Hayden Smith, plus some other archival extras. Any thoughts on Rachel Weisz from either of you?
Paul, you go first.
Yeah. Fantastic actress. I always enjoy the film focus sets that Imprint put together. I feel they're very well curated. I haven't heard of any of these, but I'm an Imprint completist, so I'll be getting this for sure. Just eagerly waiting for that pre-order date because that's when I jump on and get them. It looks like a great set. One thing I do love about them, just in terms of their aesthetic, is they do like a matte finish compared to a gloss on the box, and it's a slick box.
Yeah, these film focus boxes are always really nice. And I always like how most of them have not been big titles yet. They've been fairly deep cuts, but they're still usually high quality films. They're stuff that people have been wanting to see or eager to see. And then when they're first time on anywhere in the world on Blu-ray, that's exciting. We got a different one to talk about in a second where that's not the case, but this is still pretty exciting. Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz. I've only seen Swept from the Sea, but I have not seen the extended version of this one, but I am looking forward to seeing it. But Deep Blue Sea, I know that was one of her more recent films, and that was highly praised. But I have not seen I Want You. But for me, Rachel Weisz, my favorite performance from her will always be a movie I'm not even a huge fan of, The Mummy.
I was expecting that answer. Yep, The Mummy's great.
Yeah, and of course, The Favorite from Yorgos Lanthimos. That
Yep.
one, I love her performance in that as well. And her Oscar-winning role in The Constant Gardener, that was pretty good too.
It's pretty good. All right. Next from them on the same day is a Film Focus box set on Philip Seymour Hoffman. This one has Flawless from 99, Owning Mahoney from 2003, Before the Devil Knows You're Dead from 2007. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead had previously been released by Shout. Flawless and Owning Mahoney had been out on Blu-ray elsewhere, but these are coming together in a same, limited hard box, 1,500 copies. Flawless gets a new commentary by Brian Reisman and Max Every and Jason Bailey, some archival extras. Owning Mahoney, we'll talk about that one in just a second. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead is all archival extras, but it's a lot of extras. We've got a commentary by Sidney Lumet, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Ethan Hawke. Those three together in one commentary already, that should be enough for you to hear. You got to listen to that. We got an interview with the screenwriter, Kelly Masterson, and then interview with Ethan Hawke, both from 2020. And then directed by Sidney Lumet, How the Devil Was Made featurette. But then the big one, I'm so excited to talk about Owning Mahoney. So this one, we have a new commentary by Gary Ross, the author of No Limit, The Incredible Obsession of Brian Maloney. That's the original book that was the source for the film Owning Mahoney. That is commentated by the author and Dr. Will Dodson, of course, from this show and someone's favorite productions. With new commentary on here by Walter Chow, which is exciting as well. And then new Place Your Bets, The Agony and the Ecstasy of Gambling in Cinema, a visual essay by Billy Ray Bruton, who is the co-owner of Antenna with myself. This is a film that we produced. We are so excited to be able to get the extras for this together. Love this movie. Owning Mahoney is unsung in a really interesting way. Philip Seymour Hoffman is incredible in this, and this film being based on a genuinely true story. Like pretty much everything that happens in this movie is fairly close to accurate. You hear a lot of discussion on that in the commentary, but the movie itself, well made, well acted, very well written. But also, it's Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's kind of one of the greats of all time. And so this box set alone is something that I heartily recommend to everybody. I personally have yet to see Flawless, but the other two, genuinely great movies. Any thoughts on Philip Seymour Hoffman? Tony, you first.
Flawless is brilliant. It is so good, but heartbreaking at the same time. It's directed by Joel Schumacher, who, of course, we all know as the guy who ruined the Batman franchise in the 90s. And it has Robert De Niro. I don't know if you can hear in the background. It's very strong winds here in Sydney. Flawless is highly recommended. And Philip Seymour Hoffman was incredible in that one. Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, oh, you're right. Such a gem.
Yeah.
Sidney Lumet. Come on. You can't go wrong.
He's
Sidney
incredible.
Lumet's a fantastic director. But I hate to admit it, I have not seen Owning Mahoney yet. So I am looking forward to this release.
Got a chance for you to see it.
Excellent.
Paul, have you seen any of these three?
None of these three, but love Philip Seymour Hoffman. So this would be great to experience these. I did actually recently get Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, the Shout release. So, that one can be passed on now and it's going to be part of an imprint set. But I also recently watched Happiness. His performance in that is just... Yeah, it's such a gravitas in that performance. So yeah, looking
Such a great family film.
Oh, 100%. Watch that with your parents and grandparents. Yeah.
Any insight of a U.S. release of Owning Mahoney? I've not heard of anything yet, but it also would not surprise me, especially after this gets some attention. It's one of those things where it'll likely get at least another Blu-ray release throughout the world somewhere. Movie Eddie says he's getting strong winds in his bedroom. I'm sorry, Eddie. Love to hear it. Yeah, I definitely need to see Flawless.
It's good.
I've only ever heard great things. Does Dead End DVD take trade-ins on Blu-rays and stuff?
That's a good question.
I don't know,
sure, Tony.
Do they do used items at all?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think so. Honestly, no. I don't think Outrun do either.
All right. Well, let's keep going then. That was a very specific question. All right, this one is interesting. So this is coming on June 1st on Blu-ray in the UK from Hammer themselves. It is going to be a really interesting release that they're facing. Basically, it's going to be a series. This is called The House of Hammer, and this is volume number 1. So what they're doing here is basically taking a printed magazine and making a digital format out of it. So this is going to be celebrating Britain's rich horror heritage, pairing that exploration with carefully curated content to complement the ongoing restoration and collector's editions across the Hammer and Hammer Presents ranges. It's going to blend print, video, and visuals. Each edition will deliver a multi-format experience presented in limited edition packaging. Every installment will include a curated selection of rare and newly created material, from documentaries and short films to exclusives and a look at behind the scenes into the filmmaking process, all accompanied by a 120-page book with filmmaker profiles, making of stories, and even more. So this is going to be an interesting one. When you look at the cover of this, and it's very, very much focusing on Vincent Price, who literally never starred in a Hammer film, you've got a lot of questions here. However, the big piece of this that they're doing is there's a documentary here on AIP, which obviously Vincent Price paid a huge hand in. So this is going to be including The Land Demands Blood, which is 38 minutes, an examination of the work of contemporary Cornish filmmakers like Bates Mark Jenkin and the fundamental connection between Cornwall's landscape and British horror films. Part 1 of a new feature-length doc on AIP, and this part 1 itself is 2 hours long. We've got, let's see, what is next? Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was correct. Deep Cut, 75 minutes. This is a doc about the landmark censorship changes in the 70s when the X certificate was raised to being over 18. Ticket to Happiness, which is 30 minutes, recently recovered and long thought lost 1959 Hammer short, newly restored in 2K. Making Monsters, half-hour interview with the Oscar-winning makeup and special effects duo Dave and Lou Elzey. A 40-minute exploration of music in films focusing on Hammer called Symphonies of Shudders. A 43-minute deep dive into Michael Goh's unforgettable work in British horror with film historian Jonathan Rigby. And then an archival interview with Roger Corman from 95. That's 35 minutes. Plus footage from the 2025 London premiere of the newly restored Curse of Frankenstein. That's 30 minutes long. And then even more will be on the disc. This is crazy. This is a lot of stuff. I do understand why they called it The House of Hammer. However, it's an interesting title when it's not all going to be focused on Hammer. I don't know. This is an interesting thing. Paul, what do you think about doing this?
It's interesting. It's kind of like they wouldn't put these on just like each individual feature across different releases of different films. Instead, they're packaging it together. Kind of an interesting way to go on that. I'm excited about some of the contributors they've got there. So, yeah, I'm a fan of Hammer. But like you say, it's interesting to call it House of Hammer when they're clearly covering a lot more. So they maybe could have gone with a different sort of title. But yeah, it's still interesting.
It doesn't work as well when they have a show called House of Hammer from the 80s as well. So I'm sure that could be confusing for quite a few people. Movie Eddie saying, I think Fangori's doing the same thing here in the States. All the mags on one digital collection. Got all the mags since day one. That's a little different. This is like actual produced interviews and documentaries and such, not just a digital magazine, but they're treating it like a digital magazine, which is interesting. Tony, any thoughts on this?
Well, as Paul knows, I'm a Hammer fanatic, and this is great news. Like, I think this is probably a first I know it's a first for the Hammer, for Hammer, definitely. But seeing all these extras, but the one that shocked me was part 1 of the AIP documentary, just 2 hours long, and that's just part 1 alone. That's insane. And of course, the upcoming Hammer film title the upcoming title coming soon from Hammer Films is Crucible of Horror with Michael Gough, and that was a great film. And believe it or not, that's actually a canon movie from 1971.
Yeah,
so that's a good one. And of course, Hammer recently released from their new line, Cry of the Banshee with Vincent Price.
And I should have said, I was about to respond to Jim. Jim was pointing out Cry of the Banshee has Price. It's not really his starring role, is the way that I would say it. He didn't have like a Hammer movie where he was the guy.
It's technically not a Hammer film. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, Hammer Presents. Yeah.
Yeah, wish this was actually a House of Hammer series that's still stuck on SD, and it probably always will be, sadly. I don't think
It's a
they have
shame.
elements for those anymore. All right, moving to our next one. Hey, we've got a bunch going on with Def Crocodile. They've got a flash sale that's still happening right now. The hard part, most of their titles have sold out during this flash sale. They are waiting on some reprints to come in. So check that out if you're keen on any of those. What was crazy is they had deluxe editions that came out before anything that was came out before January of this year was on sale. Did you or Paul partake in the sale at all?
Unfortunately, I don't think Def Crocodile ships
Oh no,
to
they don't ship to
Australia.
Australia, so no, you didn't. That's
So-
right.
I would have
Where-
loved to.
I understand. Yes, the prices were great. You can purchase from Diabolic DVD if you're not in the States, just not on sale, sadly. Yeah, great prices. They had some new merch. Check that out. But in the meantime, they also have this new title that you can pre-order. If you're from outside the US, you can check it out elsewhere. As far as the box art, I love the box on this release. This is going to be shipping at the end of April. And this is Difa Fairy Tales, and it's a box set with 5 different films in here. We've got Little Red Riding Hood. We've got Mother Hulda, also known as Frau Halle. We've got The Devil's 3 Golden Hairs. We've got Snow White and Rose Red. Did I miss one? Oh, yeah, Snow White. I skipped over that one, unfortunately. So, yeah, we've got 2 different tales on here of Snow White, and then Snow White and Rose Red. Special features wise, we've got a new video interview with Stephen R. Bissett. Did kind of want to shout out the podcast for this release, by the way. We had a lot of discussion on this title with Dennis and Craig. Dennis really loves this box set, and so he had a lot to say. This interview with Stephen R. Bissett on this is amazing. Stephen has... He had some crazy things to pull out. He was pulling out like brochures and vinyl records and all kinds of stuff to talk about this era of films. It was fascinating. New commentaries on these by Michael Brook, Sam Deegan, Sheila Rowan Legg, and Ann Golden. We've got a new visual essay by Evan Chester, and then the standard artwork is Beth Morris. It is incredible. The slipcase has new artwork by Mark Buckingham, also known as Fables. We got an 80-page illustrated book, essays by Kina Shen, Rolf Giesen, Walt Chow, and Alexander Heller Nicholas. New interview with the screenwriter Stefan Kolditz, son of the Snow White and Mother Hulda's director, and then some rare production photos. This looks great. Any thoughts on Difa, Paul?
Yes. So I picked up the Eureka set of their sci-fi films,
Yes.
and I've watched one of those, and that was absolutely epic. So I thought, okay, I've got to get more Difa stuff, and let alone everyone then starts announcing them. And I saw Def Crocodile start teasing these as they were like, here's the first film, here's the next film. And as they kept teasing, I'm like, wow, these just look so great. And then thankfully, Outrun DVD locally, they put it up for pre-order the other day. So I'm glad to say that I've got this on pre-order because at a fairly reasonable price too for Australia. Yeah, it looks amazing. And no doubt being Def Crocodile, the quality is going to be great. I've only got a handful of their releases, but they're always great.
Incredible. Tony?
I'm just obsessed with this box art. It's incredible. And unfortunately, I haven't got many Def Crocodile titles over because of they shipped to Australia. But now that Outrun DVD do get them, I'll be happy to order some. I'll be definitely getting this one for sure. This does look like fun.
Agreed with Colton. Says all the clips they're sharing on Instagram are so great. Shout out to Chris Senko. He came on with Def Crocodile as their social media person a couple months ago, so I didn't have to keep doing it. Chris has been doing an incredible job, much better than I was. And this box set is going to make a lot of people very happy. Was so thrilled to work on some of the stuff from this. It is just a legendary release. So check it out. Next up, coming on June on Blu-ray in the US from Kino Lorber is Brit Noir Collection number 2. This is going to have Home at 7 from 1952, The Intruder from 1953, and A Long Arm from 1956. I am famously not much of a noir guy. Paul, are you a noir person?
Yeah, I do like the odd noir film. Definitely watch more of the American ones than I'd say any British noirs from those Indicator Columbia sets. But yeah, I haven't really seen many British ones. So it looks like an interesting set, though. And they've got some good titles in there with some great actors. And see, you've got Jack Hawkins in The Long Arm. So yeah, be interesting.
The only thing I can comment on, I feel really grateful that Kino's actually doing something unique and interesting with the art on these, keeping it very noir focused, very classic. Any noir thoughts, Tony?
I love noir, but like Paul, I have mainly seen a lot of American noir movies, but I have not seen much British ones. But this one, I'm looking from the cover out here, looks very interesting, especially Home at 7,
Yes.
which stars and directed by Ralph Richardson, which this is his only film. I've never seen it, and because Ralph Richardson, I think, is one of the greats, and I'm looking forward to seeing that one for sure.
Yeah. Good looking stuff from Kino, as per usual. Speaking of Kino, coming soon, they've got a 4K coming of Wes Craven's Deadly Blessing from 1981. This will have Dolby Vision, but that's about all we know. This is one of those, hey, we are putting this out eventually, so don't buy the Blu-ray type of announcements. There's no date set on this or anything like that. Deadly Blessing, personally, I'd say it's a little underrated in the Wes Craven canon, but that's easy to do when you've created some of the most iconic films of all time. Deadly Blessing, any thoughts, Tony?
Agreed with you 100%. It is definitely underrated, but it's also a part of the Wes Craven collection that Vive Vision have released recently. But now it's coming out in 4K. Looking forward to seeing it.
Look at that. Paul's taking over for me, being able to grab everything that's mentioned.
Great.
It's just on hand.
I got quite a bit here to try and get. So
yeah,
all good.
Paul, Wes Craven, any thoughts?
Love Wes Craven. Haven't seen Deadly Blessing yet. Still making my way through this set. Actually, I've seen Serpent and the Rainbow from there, but yeah, I haven't seen this one.
Nice. I did want to take a step back. I just remembered I was going to mention it. Totally forgot. Mr. Fat Man. I feel terrible every time I say your name. Talking about some of the DIFA titles and British 50s thrillers. And then the big one is Michael Morales mentioned, hoping there's not too much overlap with Deaf Crocodile's upcoming release. Eureka has been teasing that they are also doing a DIFA fairy tale set. However, it does look like they will have different titles. And I had some people asking, I think it was over in the Deaf Crocodile Discord or somewhere. They were asking about, like, do these labels work together? Do they know that they're sharing certain things? And I can confirm, especially with the DIFA Fairy Tales thing, Deaf Crocodile had no idea that it was even happening. They had no idea Eureka was doing it. They had been working on, Deaf Crocodile had been working on this for quite some time. So when they started teasing it on social media, they found out with everybody that this was happening. It does look like Eureka is going to have one of the bigger titles that somebody had been hoping for on social media. So you might want to pick up both, even if there is some overlap. But keep an eye out, and we'll probably be talking about that soon, because Eureka doesn't normally tease things super far in advance, but I think they started teasing that when they found out Deaf Crocodile was releasing theirs as well.
Now my wallet is hurting even more.
Yeah.
They never announced that. You're right about that. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I kind of expected it to come out in this latest round of announcements, but they did not. We're covering Eureka here in just a few minutes. Next up, I was very confused about what this picture was, but this is so cool. My magazine, The Physical Media Advocate, is now for sale in 3 different countries for the first time ever, on sale in the UK in person at Snips Movies. This is Dave Wayne's store over in the UK, which is just incredible from all the photos I've seen. I love how he's got this set up. He's got a little placard explaining what it is. Anybody else that's over in the UK, please go check it out. It's at 22 Cross Lane, Bebington, UK. And if you own your own store, we would love to have this in the store. If you got a local store that you shop at, we'd love to have it in the store. I've got some magazines with me. We're going to be taking to a couple physical media shops here in Australia to talk to them about carrying it. Love to get it in more and more countries. And if you're in the US or anywhere else, we are carried in almost 20 different shops now, and you can buy it anywhere worldwide on Amazon. So we'd love to have it. We're going to be talking about another store in just a minute too that just started carrying it. Next up, one that came out of kind of nowhere. This had been rumored to be coming out, but I'm still shocked with who is doing it. July 27th in the UK from Icon Film Distribution, we are getting 30 Days of Night in a 4K Steelbook and then a standard Blu-ray release. This 4K Steelbook looks pretty divisive on the art. We're going to get Tony and Paul's thoughts on this in just a minute. Here's the Blu-ray cover art, which I really do like this Blu-ray art. But for those that have never seen it, 30 Days of Night is an iconic vampire film set in Alaska that is a really unique setup for a film. It's quite a great movie. However, the steelbook here very expensive. If you're buying it anywhere online and you're going off of British pounds, it's running about 50 pounds, which is kind of crazy. In the US, from third-party retailers, it's about $60 US, which means here, what would that be, about 400 didgeridoos?
Probably, yeah, but yeah, probably around 100 Australian dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is way too much. This is directed by David Slade, who also did Hard Candy, did some work on Black Mirror, starring really great performance from Josh Hartnett. There is a lot of extras on here, though, so very excited to talk about some of this. So we got a new restoration scanned on the Laser Graphics Director Scanner, which very interesting that they even explained the scanner that they used here. They're saying 4K 16-bit color depth. However, they did not go into detail on if this would have HDR or not. I'm assuming it will, but would love to get some confirmation from elsewhere. If you buy the 4K on this, it will have the 4K and the Blu-ray with bonus features on both formats. So even if you are region locked and they region lock the Blu-ray to a region B, you should be able to watch it all on the 4K. Now, new extras. We had a new interview with David Slade, a new interview with the composer, Bryven Reitzel, new interview with the actor Mark Rendell, new interview with 30 Days of Night comic book creator Steve Niles, new commentary with Kim Newman and Sean Hogan, new visual essay called Bloodlust, Cinema's Most Vicious Vamps by Chris Alexander from Full Moon and Delirium, printed booklet with new essays by Sarah Finoro and Mary Beth McAndrews, plus a foreword by David Slade. There's also going to be a limited poster done by Suspiria Vilches, who also did the artwork on the cover, so it will just be the same cover art, undoubtedly. There is an archival commentary with Josh Hartnett, Melissa George, and the producer Rob Tappert. 8 different making of documentaries on this. They're all pretty short, but they're all included here. 30 Days of Night. Paul, thoughts on the film?
It's a good film for sure. This is one which when I was in high school, a friend used to lend me DVDs of horror films, which is what really got me started on horror and watching all sorts of different type of films. He's like, oh, here's Wolf Creek. And the next week, oh, here's Hostel. And I'll just kind of watch all these films. And 30 Days of Night was one of those which he lent me, since bought it myself on Blu-ray and still only got the local Blu-ray. So yeah, great vampire film, great performances, and really great, like, a look and feel to the film. I feel like it's into that really aesthetic really well. I'm not a fan of this cover. I really like our local cover, which is, I think, the poster that's like the red at the bottom and contrast with the black on the top. That's just more iconic. But yeah, no, it is a good film. So it's great that it's come to 4K.
Patrick, I don't think that's quite accurate, that if you double the price, you can get Stranger Things 4K deluxe box set. Here in the US, it's $60 for the Steelbook, and if you double that, that's $120. The deluxe is $180-ish. So you triple it, you get the Stranger Things box set, which that's still, for one film, tripling the price should not equal a 25-disc 4K release of a 5-season TV show. So that is still crazy. And yes, Brian is correct. It is a 2K DI movie. So if there is no HDR, this does feel sort of wrong to be doing. Just a heads up. Tony, thoughts on 30 Days a Night?
Great vampire film. Yep. Amazing. But yeah, I do have to agree. The cover art of the Steelbook is meh. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and what's crazy is I usually love Suspiria's art, but I agree this is a little, I don't know, overdone in a weird way. Like there's maybe too much liberty taken with some of this.
Yeah, definitely. It is. I don't know. But the original artwork that we just showed recently, that was incredible.
I do like
that
this.
One's great.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Thoughts on 30 Days a Night? Great movie. We all seem to enjoy it. It's overpriced. Absolutely is. Yeah. Now, the big question is, could this be released in the US? Absolutely, it could. The Blu-ray on this has been out of print. This is something that I could see Sony releasing. This is quite a popular movie. Sony does have the rights still in the US, as far as I'm aware, and unless they license it out. I would not be surprised to see this drop here in the US for like $45, probably with the original cover art. That being said, who knows? It's not a guarantee. I don't want to pre-order it for $60 necessarily, but I also don't want to miss out because I love this movie. So I'm gonna hold out and hope for the best and get this for hopefully cheaper at some point. Jim's pointing out every film we scanned at my company was on a laser graphics director scanner. Great scanner, but that's not a special feature. It's certainly not. Craig is here. What's going on,
Hey,
Craig?
Craig.
We've crocodile a lot tonight already. Yes, Patrick, that is a crazy difference when you compare to the Stranger Things release. Next up is from Australia. We've got a lot of Australian things to talk about tonight,
Yeah, we
actually.
do.
A lot of Madman releases. May 20th, Madman is releasing Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie from last year on Blu-ray and DVD. This is going to have a bunch of special features. We got an audio commentary with Matt and Jay, and Gerard Robb and Matt Grayson are also a part of that. We got another audio commentary with Matt Johnson, Robert Upchurch, Kurt Loeb, and Tristan Zarafa. An alternate opening, deleted scenes, Figured It Out featurette, home movies featurette, Back to 2008 featurette, Running Cable animatic, and then maybe the most important thing, Nirvana, the band, the show, episode number 1 is included in this. We are getting a U.S. release of this, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit with all the DVDs and all that stuff. But this is supposedly a great movie. I'm dying to see this. Either of you seen this yet?
No,
haven't
it
seen
just
it yet.
came out theatrically in Australia last week. So we're delayed with that one. So I haven't seen it yet, but it does look good.
I love that it just came out in theaters and it's already released on Blu-ray on May 20th from Madman.
Oh, sometimes our physical releases when it comes to the cinemas do come really quick, but getting some new films, especially smaller independent films, they take forever to get to Australia. Like which is a shame.
Yeah.
But the
And when
big
they
one,
do get here, such a limited run too, they'll go to like 1 or 2 cinemas. So yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Next up, also from Madman, May 6th, we are getting a 4K, a Blu-ray release, and a DVD of Surat from last year. No listing of special features, so probably nothing coming on this disc. Either of you get to see this one?
No.
I don't think it's released in Australia yet.
Whoa.
Theatrically, that is, I mean.
Wild. Interesting. I did get to see this. Loved that I got to see this in theaters. If it does play theaters here, either of you should jump to see this.
Okay.
It is wonderful theatrical experience. I am very eager to see how this holds up at home. I feel like this will do much better if you have a really incredible setup, especially with sound. This is a very sound-heavy film. Don't want to say much about this movie, but check it out. It's a great story. Their synopsis leaves a little bit to the imagination, and that's a good thing. And it's very short. All it says is a father accompanied by a son goes looking for his missing daughter in North Africa. It is a lot deeper than that. Hell of a movie. Check it out. Mr. Fat Man says it has already released in Australia.
Oh, it has? My bad then. Sorry.
Another Madman release coming on April 22nd in a 4K, a Blu-ray release, and a DVD release is No Other Choice from Park Chan-wook from last year. The extended cut that is coming out in the U.S. from Neon is not present on this release. However, this is currently about a third of the cost of the U.S. release if you get it from a U.S. retailer. So that is a selling point in and of itself, especially to get this wonderful movie on 4K. No Other Choice. Either of you get to see this one?
No.
Didn't get a chance to see this one, but I am a huge Park Chan-wook fan. But this one I didn't get a chance to. Just had so much going on, but yeah, I was watching the show last week, and you were discussing the that extremely overpriced American release. It's insane, but for an extended, if you're a full physical media completist and you want to get both cuts,
right,
then you have no choice but to get it. But this one I think is already 138 minutes long already. So I wonder.
It's quite a long movie, and knowing Park, it will probably still have like another 20 minutes or so.
No doubt.
His stuff is kind of crazy. This is a wonderful movie. I was lucky enough to be able to see this in 35 last year.
Nice.
I am dying to see it again. I do want the Neon release. Sadly, I love this movie. God, $75 is so much.
Yeah.
Supposedly at retailers and eventually at Amazon, it will drop to about 60, where you don't get the pins and all that stuff. I don't need the pins, so I will consider it. $60 is so much for one movie. And then the big thing is I want that extended cut, and it looks like nobody else is going to have a chance at that. And then I don't know why Amazon right now showing the extended, or not the extended cut, but this pricey Neon release, $110 US. So waiting for that to reflect the proper price drop, but that is so much money at the moment.
Wow.
All right, moving right along. Yet another release from Madman. Jim Jarmusch's Father, Mother, Sister, Brother from last year is coming on Blu-ray and DVD on May 20th. I have not heard many great things about this film. Either of you Jarmusch fans?
I am. I'm a
Jarmusch fan. Haven't seen this one though.
It just came out. It just came out yesterday theatrically here in Australia.
Oh wow!
And they already have a release date of May 20th.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, because I heard same as you, Ryan, very mixed reviews on this film. Like, some people love it, some people find it boring, some people find it, I don't know. But it's Jim Jarmusch. You got to watch it.
To be fair, that's kind of the reviews on every one of his films.
Yeah, yeah, I get that.
he seems to be quite hit or miss for most people.
Yeah.
And look at that. Brian says, you didn't hear anything good because it's so boring.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm pretty online with Brian's thoughts a lot of the time. So I would not be surprised if I feel that same way. May 26th, here in the US, we're getting a Blu-ray and DVD release from Welgo of Agent Zero from last year. This says a young woman hiding a dangerous past has finally carved out a quiet life in the stunning country of Morocco, which is also where Surat is said. But when her boyfriend is gunned down and left in a coma, the peace she's built collapses. Forced to resurrect the ruthless intelligence operative she once was, Agent Zero hunts down those who betrayed her mercilessly and without hesitation. This sounds pretty decent. Welgo puts out a lot of great movies sometimes, but without not a lot of marketing. So I'm curious to check this one out. Full of abundant special features like trailer. I'm curious to see this. Will I pay $25 for this? Absolutely not. This to me is one that I would love to hear some thoughts on. Hopefully anybody's seen it. Welgo USA. You guys get anything from them ever?
I don't think so.
No, not much, to be honest. I think in this collection, the only Welgo USA title I have is the Phantasm box set. That's the only thing I've got from them.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Let's carry right on then. Next up in the UK, on April 27th, we are getting a Blu-ray release only from Fabulous Films of Village of the Damned from 95. This is the Carpenter remake. Nothing new as far as the extras on this, but I believe, if I remember right, I may be wrong here, so tell me in the chat if I am. I think this is the first Blu-ray release in the UK of this film ever. So that's why it's kind of like a, whoa, this is happening. I'm glad it's being put out there. That being said, how is this not a 4K when it's got a full 4K release here in the States? It seems kind of odd to not do that unless somebody else has the licensing on that. But I doubt anybody else would get just the 4K rights. So I'm assuming Fabulous just fabulously decided to maybe take a cheaper route on the release here. Village of the Damned. How do you feel about this bottom of the barrel Carpenter? Either of you?
I actually like this bottom of the barrel Carpenter film.
It's good. I don't hate it, but
no, you can't beat the original Village of the Damned, obviously.
Yeah,
but
of course.
This one does have its moments. But first time in the UK physically, on Blu-ray, I'm very surprised.
I think let me take a look while we're here. Paul, have you seen this one?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen this one actually. I'm familiar with that poster, and it's obviously got that US release, and I didn't get that one. But yeah, like you said, guys, it is interesting that it just Blu-ray only and just some posters and art cards as the physical extras. But yeah, be interesting.
So, this makes it much more egregious. This was released in the UK 11 years ago on Blu-ray by Fabulous Films.
They forgot.
They had no special features. So yeah, this will have supplements now. But my goodness, how are they? They're just re-releasing this. Come on, this is crazy. What a weird choice.
But this cover art, I don't know. It's not bad, but give me the classic
poster.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would agree. All right, next up. One that I've heard some great things about. Lightbulb Films is releasing Dead Lover from 2025, last year's film, on June 22nd on Blu-ray in the UK. This is a brand new movie, so this is the first time releasing this film. I've heard from some people that I generally trust on their taste that this is an incredible movie, so I'm kind of dying to see this one. Have not been able to check this one out yet. Either of you guys get to see this?
No, I've never heard of this, but after reading the synopsis, a lonely gravedigger who stinks of corpses finally meets her dream man, but their whirlwind affair is cut short when each other drowns at sea. I was sold on stinks of corpses. sounds like some kind of original synopsis, but it does sound pretty interesting.
Yeah. Heard this
I do
is
like
wild.
that cover.
Yeah, the cover art here is great.
Yeah,
Colors are great. I do think this will be getting a US release, so if you're in the US, you might want to wait on this one. But either way, Lightbulb have been stepping up. Glad to see them releasing some good out-of-the-box ideas for films too. This one just kind of a tease of upcoming, but a bigger thing as far as breaking through a format. Third Window Films announced that they are putting out a 4K UHD soon of Survived Style 5 Plus. This is from 2004, and they posted this with a picture with the director. This is him holding the old DVD release of this. This coming out 4K. First Third Window 4K ever. Either of you into Third Window Films much?
I haven't got any of their releases yet.
Wow. For those that don't know, Third Window Films, they do pretty much entirely Japanese titles. That's almost, in fact, that might even be 100% of what they do. But they have not broken out into UHD. This is the first time. And this is a company that I love to see them taking a dive into that. But now I fear anytime they announce something, people are going to complain when it's now not 4K. I really hope people take into consideration putting things out on 4K is a massive increase in price. This is not just like, oh, it's going to be $1 more per disc to release. No, it's a huge cost. And the only reason we're seeing some companies take a chance on these is because they hope that they're getting some more of these people that complain, oh, if it's not 4K, I'm not purchasing it. Craig, you're still in the chat. Why don't you, if you're comfortable, lay out some of those production costs of what some of these cost compared to just doing Blu-ray. And the hard part is if you put something out on 4K and then it, not even just if it bombs, but let's just say it just undersells expectations, you're out a huge set of production costs, and now eventually you got to put it out on sale. And it is something that if you put something on sale and it doesn't do well, even on the first sale, now you're losing money at a rate that is hard to keep up with. So I'm not just saying this to be somebody that's owning a company myself here and looking into production costs and all that. You don't have to empathize with companies. I'm a fuck the police type of guy myself quite the time, but it's a real problem. If you're only going to be 4K or bust, a lot of times it's going to be bust because you're just not going to get the film because they can't afford to put it out. Any thoughts on 4K, Tony?
Yeah, I do believe that the pricing is substantially higher, but as I just read from Craig's comment, it's crazy expensive, not worth it. And I get it, but I know big companies always do a lot of 4Ks because they can afford it. But like for smaller companies, it's interesting for sure.
Yep, I agree. It's tough. Paul, how do you feel about 4K? Are you a 4K or nothing type of person?
Definitely not 4K or nothing. I'm just like, give me the film if it's available. I'm happy on whatever format. I always find it interesting when boutique labels do decide to make that jump into 4K. Obviously, Criterion took a longer time than others when films are already coming out from other labels and for films that they had the rights to in the US. Imprint did take a while, and when they finally got to 4K, it was like maybe some smaller titles, like I think The Driver in the Walter Hill set, and then maybe Cross of Iron was among their first. But obviously, they see that sells, so they're able to get more back on it. But like you say, if those smaller labels don't see the returns on the 4K, then it's kind of taking out their costs that they can be putting into other films. So, if it's a safer route to go the Blu-ray for these smaller labels, I'm totally fine with that. And then if there's a big title they think will sell, they're willing to take that risk, I'm willing to take that risk with them and make a purchase.
I want to point out, especially for those not watching live, that Craig from Deaf Crocodile just commented, Blu-ray versus 4K can easily cost $20,000 more, and the sales of that title do not cover that cost, which that alone, that's a terrifying number to just take on. And what a lot of people don't think about too is you're buying those discs before people are purchasing them. So you're paying the bill for that before you even get a penny return on it. So you're fronting the next set of production costs. It's kind of crazy. And then Brian says laser disc or death. I get it, Brian. All right, let's carry on from there. Next up, coming in summer of this year on Blu-ray in the UK from the team over at Jerry Anderson and everything that they've done. New Captain Scarlet from 2005. This is a wild set. This is the complete series presented with the original 5.1 audio and the original titles for the first time in HD ever. And this will include a brand new in-depth documentary directed by Chris Dale, a new full-cast audio drama based on the unmade episode Script House of Dolls. We've got a new Captain Scarlet Super Space Theater movie inspired by the Super Space Theater compilations of the 80s. We've got a rare short test film from 2000 created as a sort of proof of concept for the revival of Captain Scarlet. Detailed look at how the groundbreaking motion capture CGI for this was performed, guiding viewers through the production environment at Pinewood Studios. Alternate opening and closing titles, special new Captain Scarlet panel recorded at Andercon from 2014, textless materials, selection of textless materials for multiple episodes, promo materials. We've got a rigid slipcase with an all-new exclusive artwork, a beautifully crafted 80-page episode guidebook, 3 posters that are large, brand new cutaway artwork on here, 1 large format poster with the original artwork from the show. I've never been an Anderson guy. It looks great. I've just never tried. I really need to go into it. Either of you super into this stuff?
Well, Imprint recently released quite a lot of Jerry Anderson stuff, but I had no idea there was a new version of Captain Scarlet, because Imprint just recently released the classic one.
Yep. And this is from 2005.
I had no idea. Paul, did you know that?
I didn't know until only very recently, because I used Serialized to log my TV watches for the Imprint stuff, mainly so I can remember where I'm up to when I'm putting in a disc. I can just go, oh yeah, I'm up to here. And I went to look up this show, and this one came up. And I was like, oh, it's a whole new version. So I really, really love the classic one. Like, it's such a fun show. It's got so many explosions stuffed into like a 23-minute episode, and like the scale, you can tell they've done an explosion, but everything is miniature, so it kind of looks off, but that's part of the charm of it. And like all the character design is done so well. But the stories in particular are great. You don't have a story arc, but each individual episode is its own sort of mini story with the characters taking on a mission where someone's been taken over by the Mysterons, and then they have to find them and take them out. So it'll be interesting to see what stories they go for this remake version, if it's like the same stories updated with the new effects, or if it's more original stories. But it's just a hell of a lot of fun. So I'm sure this one would be as well.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm glad you're into it. I need to check out some of this stuff, because it looks like it'd be right up my alley for sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, yet another sale. This is the second of like 14 that we have to cover tonight. This sale is the Warner Archive sale happening over at Movie Zing right now. This is the 17th anniversary of Warner Archive. The sale is running until March 31st. You have to enter code ARCHIVE17. Archive is all in caps when you go to checkout. And basically, this is going to get you 4 titles for $54. Now, not to be cheeky, complaining, or just pointing this out, keep in mind a few years ago, we were all sort of thinking that Warner Archive stuff was slightly overpriced at 4 for $44. And now we're at 4 for $54. Look at how the times have changed. You can add more titles to your sale purchase there at $13.50 a piece. So my goodness, that is quite a difference from $11. And they've changed some things where that's not a word, change it. They've changed some things, and now there's new lower cost shipping on their site. Warner Archive, you guys get much from them? Did either of you partake in the sale?
Yeah, I've partaken in previous sales, but I haven't partaken in this particular one yet. But previous years, that's when I've stocked up on titles I've wanted, because I go, yep, I get them in the bundle. Shipping's fairly reasonable to get them all together. Do have a nice little set of Warner Archive titles in the collection now.
Yeah, I got quite a few Warner Archives as well. I just showed a couple now. But I didn't even know Warner Archive shipped to Australia. I believe
they do through Movie Zing.
Yeah, the Movie Zing store has. Yeah.
Okay, now I know, because I had no idea about this. Thanks for that.
And Brian says $13.50 doesn't sound that bad. I gotta be honest, it's not. In the grand scheme of things, it's not terrible. But when just a few years ago we had it for $11 each, it is a little bit more of like a ooh. We got to do something about that. All right. Let's go to our next one, which Third Window Films. We were just talking about them. This is coming on May 25th on Blu-ray in the UK. This is Transcending Dimensions and the Blood of Rebirth from 2025 and 2009. These are both from Toshiaki Toyota, which they have done in the past as well. They've done a box set with his films before. Transcending Dimensions is brand new from last year, and it says a hitman pursues a mysterious Japanese ascetic, encountering an entanglement of mystical power and space-time along the way. Blending science fiction with other genre elements, Toshiaki Toyota brings new vitality to his Mount Resurrection Wolf short film series, which have culminated over the years to lead to this feature film. And then 2009 is based on the legend of 15th century adventurer Oguri Hangun Daisugeshige. I think that's how you pronounce that. Toyota places us in a surreal world of tattooed Japanese slave workers whose real-life roles serve more as symbols than actual characters. After being hired by a local despot, the despot is named Daizen to massage away a nasty venereal disease. Oguri is vilely betrayed after refusing to stay longer. This is limited to 2,000 copies. It's got Toshiaki Toyota feature audio commentary on Transcending Dimensions, Peter Gladkowski visual essay on that one, Such is the Person I Wish to Be, 3 short films from Toshiaki Toyota, plus a trailer. On disc 2, we've got an interview with the director. It's got a slipcover on it. It's limited to just 2,000 titles. I'm very curious about this. Toshiaki Toyota is pretty great at what he does. Have either of you seen anything from him?
No, but
No.
from what I just heard, this sounds incredible.
Yep, good looking stuff. Eager to check this out. I need to get this picked up in the next order there. Umbrella from here in Australia have announced a couple titles. Nothing huge this month from them, but let's go over. July 8th, we got a 4K coming of Wrong Turn from 2003. They've got a new interview with the producer, Robert Kolzer. We got a new interview with the actor, Julian Richings. New interview with the visual effects supervisor, Dennis Berardi. New interview with the makeup effects supervisor, Shane Mahon. Now, this might look familiar because they've already produced this with this same artwork with a lot of these extras, all released on Blu-ray in the past. Any thoughts on Wrong Turn and their now upgrade to 4K? I think this is the first one from Umbrella. They've re-announced something that they've done fairly newly on Blu-ray, now to 4K.
Yeah.
Paul, you picking up much from Umbrella lately?
I do get a lot of Umbrella titles. Kind of pared back a bit recently with the collector's sets being more choosy as to what I'm picking up when I pre-order. This one kind of disappoints me because, yeah, you just did it on Blu-ray. I have got the Blu-ray with this cover. It's a great film. Do I need to upgrade it yet? Probably not. Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, they've got the rights, so we might as well do it type situation, I feel, with this one.
Right.
But yeah, I do pick up the collector's sets. They're also just here within reach. You can see Dogma got on the side there, and Wake in Fright and such. Really looking forward to the Universal Monsters collection that's coming out. That huge set, and the Day of the Woman, I Spit on Your Grave 4K.
Yep.
I've got on order with that as well. So yeah, really looking forward to that particular release.
They had the woman in stores yesterday, even. And speaking of Wake in Fright, I had to rep for Australia. I got my Wake in Fright shirt on from Umbrella.
Fantastic.
Wrong Turn. Are you a fan? Have you seen any of them?
I have seen Wrong Turn, but I don't own it yet. But this is a good opportunity to actually have this because I've never owned it. I like the first movie, but the rest I haven't bothered with, to tell you the truth. But
Yeah.
this one is fascinating because this one actually is a bit somber for us Australians and Australian film collectors in particular, because it also includes Beware the Woods, A History of Rural Horror, the video essay by the late, great Lee Gambon, who we've known, we've spoken to, we've had on the show before.
Yep.
And yeah, it'll be really, it's hard to hear his voice lately. It's very difficult, but because we've known him for so long, it was good.
Yeah, Leah's special, and it's tough. I for a little while, I considered trying to go after everything that Lee was on, and then I realized this list would cost me multiple thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah, it would.
Lee was prolific in a very short period of time.
True.
Julian from Collector Creations, a friend of ours who lives in Melbourne, he did actually start doing that, and he picked up almost all the Lee Gambon releases. Not all of them yet.
All of them.
Wow.
He did eventually get all of them.
That's so good.
I'm jealous. Absolutely jealous. And then to go with that, they've got a 4K coming of We Bury the Dead from this last year. This is the Daisy Ridley I mean, calling it a zombie film supposedly seems a little underselling what it is, but it's supposedly pretty great. This is going to have all kinds of new extras, and I say new, it's a brand new film. Of course, they're all new. They've got a making of, new scene breakdown with the director, new interviews with all kinds of people from the film. We've got the director, Daisy Ridley, Brenton Thwaites, Mark Cole Smith, and then a MIF 2025 post-screening Q&A. Either of you seen this one yet?
No, I haven't, unfortunately, but I do want to see it.
Oh, Key-Ray, there's a list on Letterboxd on every League Gambit release. Good God, I probably need to clone that list and start chipping away at it every year. Danny says this was pretty good, and I've heard it's pretty good. I hear it's a little less mainstream, and so it's a lot of people that are super into mainstream horror probably didn't love it as much, which it didn't do great at the box office, but it didn't have a wide release either. Yeah. So we'll see. Let's see. Oh, and Julian is commenting. He says he's got everything but the next Imprint release.
Oh, about the next Imprint release. That's right. And that's it's actually coming out this week.
Yeah. Speaking of Imprint, a title that I'm quite excited about. May 27th, we are getting Youth Gone Wild, 1950s juvenile delinquency. And this covers Live Fast, Die Young from 58, Juvenile Jungle from 58, Young and Wild from 58, and then Teenage Crime Wave from 55. This is going to be 1,500 copies on the hardbox release only, and all of them first time on Blu-ray anywhere in the world. Live Fast, Die Young is a new commentary by Rob Kelly. New Paul Honride on the Team Crime Wave. Visual essay by Alexander Heller Nicholas. We got a trailer. Juvenile Jungle as a new commentary by Sam Deegan. New The Rebellion of the American Teen. Thomas Doherty on post-war teenage culture. New reconstruction of the trailer, which is cool. Young and Wild as a new directed by William Whitney. Visual essay by Michael H. Price. New In Naturama, Guide to Republic Picture short-lived film format featurette with Rob Murphy, who's the director. And then Teenage Crime Wave has nothing. Plus, there's a book, 36-page hardback booklet with new essay, Wild in the Streets, The Origin of America's 1950s Juvenile Delinquent Cinema by writer Andrew Nettie. Obviously, I'm sure you're both getting this. Any thoughts on this genre or excitement on this?
Paul, you go first.
100% getting this release. Looks like a fantastic collection of films I haven't seen yet, but films which themes and such will be, really interesting. Whenever they curate collections like this, the films they've curated within that collection are going to be good. So yeah, I've got to get this one for sure. Interesting, it doesn't say volume 1 when they tend to put these sort of types of sets up. We tend to look if it says volume 1 or not. Can't see it there, so maybe might not be more, but yeah, still not good nonetheless.
What they could do though is 1960s juvenile delinquency. So
there we go, through the decades. Yeah,
we'll see. That'd be fun. And then to pair with that, my goodness, this series is still going strong. We are also getting on that same day, which is May 27th, the Blu-ray release of Tales of Adventure Collection number 11. This covering from 1954 to 65. We've got The Black Knight from 54, 55 Days at Peking from 63, Taras Bulba from 62, and Genghis Khan from 65. Again, limited to 1,500 copies only. Now, on this, The Black Knight, we've got no extras. On 55 Days at Peking, we've got a new commentary by Glenn Kenny, new interview with film historian Sheldon Hall, vintage interviews with some of the actors, including Charlton Heston, trailers from Hell with Brian Trenchard Smith, another Aussie. We've got Taras Bulba, Love Story of Flesh and Fire. This is a new commentary by Steve Mitchell and Stephen J. Rubin, plus the trailer. Genghis Khan has isolated music and effects score, and that's it. I'm personally not too hot on this series, but I have a feeling both you and Tony are. So, any thoughts on Tales of Adventure, Tony?
They're great. They're freaking fantastic. Especially, my favorite one will always be number 4, which is the Republic serials release. That one.
That was a big one.
Brilliant, yeah. But this one, I've only seen 2 of these films. I've only seen 55 Days of Peking and Genghis Khan, but I haven't seen The Black Knight. But I know Paul has seen that one. But it's a great series. I think they're fantastic, personally.
Tell us about it, Paul.
Definitely echo that. Yeah, The Black Knight was released on DVD through Viavision in one of their Alan Ladd collections. So I watched it there. It's got Peter Cushing and it's got Patrick Troughton, who played the second Doctor. I'm a Doctor Who fan, so it was great to see him in that. These collection sets, I've said it before on the Imprint Cast, and whenever I post about these when I get them, I love them so much. I love the curated editions. I remember back in the day talking to Tony when like maybe 1 or 2 would come out, and he's like, just you wait. I hear there's going to be more. And lo and behold, there's been more, and they've all been great, and we've discovered some really great films within them. So I'm glad it's a continuing collection, and yeah, looking forward to getting this one.
Mr. A Fat Man, I really agree with you here. His comment says, I would love to see Imprint go for adventure movies from other countries, like from the West German, Western set from Eureka. Not only that, I feel like Imprint is kind of setting themselves up properly to get like a Peplum box set out there. Nobody else is really
100%.
doing it, and that would crush for them right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've got a big one. We got some release details finally on Speed Racer. This is coming on May 19th on a standard 4K and a 4K Steelbook. This is the art on the standard 4K. This is coming in North America on that date, May 18th in the UK. This is going to include Speed Racer Revisited, an exclusive interview with the Wachowskis, who revisit the film's joyful genesis, its dazzling craft, and its second life as a cult classic. We've got the featurette Speed Racer Ramping Up, Speed Racer Supercharged, and Speed Racer Car Fu Cinema, plus more. And they also, on that same date over in the UK, they are releasing this deluxe edition, which includes the film in a 4K and Blu-ray set. We've got a steelbook, we got a rigid slipcase, 32-page World of Speed Racer booklet, 2 theatrical posters, a Mach 5 art card, and 6 character art cards. Either of you giant fans of Speed Racer?
I love the Wachowskis, but this one was back because I did see this theatrically in 2008, and it didn't gel with me, but it grew over time, which I do like, which I do enjoy. But this will no doubt look fantastic in 4K. I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Paul?
I haven't seen this one, so I'll probably be getting a 4K to give it a watch. It sounds
This
looks
is
like
one of those
something
rare
I'll enjoy.
instances where Paul has seen everything but the one I asked him about.
Exactly. And I love Silent Mandible's comment. He
Yeah,
highlighted it
Silent
before.
Mandible says, Mr. A Fat Man is my father. Just call me A Fat Man. Speed Racer, by the way, the press release did not mention HDR. I can confirm it does have HDR, so don't need to worry about that. This is one of those interesting ones where it technically is a 2K DI, so the resolution-wise will not have a giant jump up, but the HDR is going to be legendary on this film, and I cannot wait to see how beautiful this looks. And then pointing out, Jack DVD says Speed Racer with HD audio. Finally, the Blu-ray was compressed Dolby Digital.
It was.
Everything on this is going to be a huge step up. So eager to see that. Another one that I fear Paul is going to say that he's seen them all and they're amazing. Coming this summer on Blu-ray from BBC themselves, Blake 7, the collection series number 3 from 1980. This is going to have a 6-disc box set. Will be jam-packed with hours of new and exclusive material. Paul, tell us about Blake 7.
Blake 7 is a really fun BBC series from around the same time as the classic Doctor Who era. It was created by Terry Nation, who created the Daleks, which is why a teacher of mine at school was like, hey, you like Doctor Who, you're going to like Blake 7, and lent me series 1 on DVD. And then for years, Roadshow had it completely out of print on DVD locally, so couldn't get it myself. And now I've been collecting these on Blu-ray, so hooray. Yeah, if you like that sort of classic sci-fi from the BBC, the sets may wobble in the background, but that doesn't take away from the charm of the show.
Tony, have you seen Blake 7?
Believe it or not, I have not seen a single episode of Blake 7.
I fully believe it because I had never heard of it before I started doing Disconnected stuff. All right, moving right along since we don't have much to add. I mentioned this earlier, but Decal and Neon are putting out the Blu-ray of Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie here in the States. It's got all those same extras that we talked about earlier. The main thing I want to point out here, this frustrates me with a lot of packaging. Why do we have this in a blue case and still put the blue banner across the top that says Blu-ray DVD? We don't need that. Just put the poster there. It's not that difficult. We know it's a Blu-ray.
I agree. Totally.
Visually, this is gross. All right. Speaking of visually gross things, Paramount is putting out Escape from LA, and sure, the cover of the steelbook looks all right. Kind of low quality here on the Instagram post, but it does look a little bit enhanced by, I don't want to say it is AI, but it looks like they took the classic CSI enhanced 14 times to the max, and they made this sharper than anything that will occur in the 4K of Escape from LA. Any thoughts on terrible CGI, Tony?
I think the less said about terrible CGI, the better.
I would agree. We already talked about John Carpenter earlier. Any thoughts on this film, Paul?
One I haven't seen, sorry. I've seen Escape from New York, but not Escape from LA. So yeah, I got the local 4K, which was about here, just like literally just the film bare bones. And I think this one's also is this one also bare bones release?
I
So
think so.
yeah.
That's more than enough. This film doesn't need much. Not a giant fan of this one.
It's not one of his best. I agree.
You guys are really talking me into it.
Well done. Okay, that is the next one. So before I cover I show the next one. If you've never seen 10 Cloverfield Lane, you should probably step away for a minute. Maybe not talk about it much. In fact, I think what do I got? I got this one. I'm going to put the spoilers background for just a minute. So if you've not seen it, don't come back and or don't unmute until this is gone. But let's go to our next title, 10 Cloverfield Lane. This is coming on a 4K Steelbook from Paramount on June 2nd. And I got to complain a little bit. How do you put the entire spoiler of the movie on the cover of the Steelbook and put it all over Amazon and everything? This is wild. Like, they're just straight revealing what makes this movie work, in my opinion, on the artwork. Any thoughts on this, Paul or Tony?
Such an odd choice to do that. They obviously think, oh, everyone's seen the film. It's an old movie, so let's just put the spoiler right on the cover. Yeah, I mean, it looks okay, but definitely an interesting choice to do that for someone picking up who's going to be looking at that as one of the first things they see.
You seen this?
I've seen this, but yeah, why put the spoilers on the actual cover? It is a definite odd choice, but it's a great movie. Don't get me wrong; it's a fantastic film. But this cover art is, for those who haven't seen it, they should issue a warning with this bloody release when it comes out.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of bloody warnings that they should issue, hey, nobody should purchase this, but you can now purchase the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts 11 film collection on 4K. The only thing I'll say, and this is not confirmed yet, but the fact that on the background we have a mention of HDR, it seems like they may have added HDR to these films, possibly, which might, if you love these, which I know a lot of people especially love the first 8, you might want to purchase again just for that HDR. However, you shouldn't, because you shouldn't want to give J.K. Rowling any money. Any thoughts on these? Are you a big Harry Potter person, Paul?
I used to be. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Good choice. Tony?
Yeah.
I do like Harry Potter, but I'm happy with my Blu-rays. I'm not going to upgrade and spend more money on,
Yeah, exactly.
Boo hiss gone. All right. Next up, May 25th, a 4K and Blu-ray dual format release coming to the UK on that date. And we're going to be finding out about a new announcement for this tomorrow from Severin, or overnight here in Australia from Severin, that they are releasing this also in the US. We are getting Zulu Dawn from 1979. This is a pretty great looking set. This has an exclusive 100-page collector's book with new articles by Ian Knight and film historian Simon Lewis, 6 collector's art cards, and a double-sided poster. The 4K disc is going to have an audio commentary with Anglo-Zulu war historian Ian Knight and film historian Simon Lewis. The Blu-ray disc, the second of the 3 discs, will have the original theatrical version, which is 118 minutes. Commentary as above. Making of Zulu Dawn, feature-length documentary. We got a bunch of people involved in that documentary. Documentary on the South African actor-director Simon Sabella. We've got Saga of Bob's Last Stands, Bob Hoskins' death scene, the eclipse at Isandlwana trailers. Lots of stuff coming on this. Disc 3, we've got the U.S. theatrical version, which is down to 98 minutes, and then a whole bunch of other extras. I've never seen Zulu Dawn. Paul, have you seen this one?
Yeah, I've seen it many, many years ago on a really old, crappy DVD that looked like a VHS pretty much, because I loved Zulu. I didn't like this one as much as the original Zulu. Right. But to probably upgrade that DVD to this 4K set looks, I think it would be a good upgrade.
Tony?
Yeah, I haven't seen this in quite a long time. But is it me, or does Burt Lancaster look like William H. Macy?
Quite a bit, yes. He really does there. I like the art. I should change to this so everybody watching can see the William H. Macy lookalike. Quite a bit there.
Quite a bit, yeah. But I have not seen the I think in Australia they released the 98-minute cut, but this 118-minute version will be really interesting to see, because I think I've only seen it on, as Paul said, an old DVD.
Well, and this, I believe, this was released previously by Severin way back in 2013. Now, keep in mind, Severin is celebrating their 20-year anniversary this year as a company. So they are not just doing a bunch of re-releases, but they're putting out a lot of stuff that kind of made Severin as a company. This is a big one. And obviously, David Gregory being from the UK, this is a big David Gregory film that he's championed for years. So take a look for this. This is coming out in the UK on May 25th, and we will hear more about a US release probably in the next 24 hours. Next up, a pretty huge title. We've got Avatar Fire and Ash from last year coming in a 4K Steelbook, a standard 4K, a 3D Blu-ray, a standard Blu-ray, and a DVD because they've got Jim Cameron's fuck you money behind it. So they're going to do anything for him. Coming from last year. Either of you see this one in theaters?
I saw it in IMAX in 3D, and it looked amazing.
Paul, are you an Avatar person?
I've seen the first two and only fairly recently. Number one was like, okay, it's pretty good. Number two, I'm pretty sure I fell asleep towards the end. Didn't really do it for me. So I might just skip the third one.
I liked number two the best out of all three. The third one was okay. It had some, it's Avatar, so it was beautiful to look at. It's just kind of the same stuff over and over again, though. Special features wise, this is where we got to have an interesting conversation because as with Avatar Way of the Water, that one did get like a 4K release, and then 6 or 8 months later got a huge 4K release with a ton of bonus features. But this is coming out on this date, which was May 19th, by the way. They've got a bunch of bonus features here. So we've got English Family audio track with all of the objectionable language removed. My goodness, think of the children. We've got a making of. We've got writing the sequels featurette, Pandoran design featurette, RDA design, the Women of Pandora, Varang and the Mengquan, capturing performances, stunts, editing, and virtual camera. All of these are different featurettes, by the way. Weta FX here. We've got ILM undertaking a pair of key scenes, the composer speaking on his score, the art and impact of 3D, Home in New Zealand, John Landau tribute, RDA orientation, Navi 101, Pandora intelligence brief, marketing materials, music video, Dream is one music video, 2 theatrical trailers, and then all kinds of differences on what we're getting as far as the audio, subtitling, all of that is all listed here. Lots of different releases. So that means we're getting a bunch of special features. Will they release another one 8 months down the line? It's Disney, so possibly, but I don't know that I would count on that. Interesting conundrum here, especially because they're putting this out in a steelbook, and the first two have not gotten proper steelbooks like this one.
No,
so
that's right.
If you're Avatar fans, what do you do? Do you pick this up? Do you miss out? Do you wait on it? Who knows?
True, but for us unlucky Australians, we can't get any Disney titles on 4K or Blu-ray anymore because Disney, in their infinite wisdom, decided to withdraw entirely from physical media here in Australia, and that really pissed me and Paul off, and John, absolutely. But yeah, for this one, we'll have to order from the US, which I'm happy to do. So
happy to spend twice as much on it.
Yeah, no, that's something I'm looking forward to. But yeah, either way, if you have the other two, get this one in the collection as well.
Next up, I mentioned this earlier. We're going to talk about another store carrying the magazine here in the U.S. I say here because I'm usually here. In the U.S., way over there, 8,000 miles away at the moment. You can pick up the Physical Media Advocate in person at Static Tape in Muskegon, Michigan. And I just gotta point out how beautiful this looks to be included amongst all the Gore Zones and all the other magazines that they've got here. They've got all kinds of different issues of the magazine as well. So if you're anywhere near Muskegon, Michigan, go check that out. And just kind of want to shout out Muskegon. They're doing great things to bring horror and physical media and all that to that part of the country. They just had a big weekend that was essentially a convention called Michigan is Dead. In person, they had Joe Bob Briggs, Darcy the Mail Girl, Michael Berryman from The Hills Have Eyes, and Cynthia Rothrock, amongst some other pretty big names that they did. Seemed like a great time. Loved looking at all of the pictures that they had from the events. So go check them out. If you're within a couple hours drive, it's worth the drive. It looks like they've got tons of titles in person. They're in a mall, so lots of other reasons to go there as well. But the big thing is they just launched an online store. So if you're looking for physical media, you can purchase from them online now. And I'm willing to bet that after Diabolic and Orbit and all these places have sold out some of these releases. They might still have some. So you might want to add it to the list of, oh my God, before I miss out, let me check out 18 different places before I go on eBay and spend way too much money. Next up, we've got the Criterion sale that's in the past, so we will not talk about that.
Okay.
But lots of people picked that up and indulged far too much this week. Let's go to the next one. In April, we're getting a 4K and Blu-ray release of Highest to Lowest, the newest Spike Lee joint. This one also featuring Denzel, like many of his in the past have. Saw this movie last year. It was an Apple TV title with A24 as a partner. So I'm glad to see this coming out on physical media. This was not a guarantee, especially with how long it's been since the film came out, which is why I've got a little bit of hope for Sorry Baby to finally come out on disc here in the US. But this film is going to have King's Ransom, a Making Highest to Lowest featurette, a discussion with Spike Lee and Denzel Washington, a music video directed by Spike Lee, 6 collectible art cards, and it will have both a 4K and Blu-ray release. Either of you see this one?
I have seen this one because I'm a huge Spike Lee fan, but I'm also a huge Kurosawa fan. And of course, this is a remake of High and Low. And I thought, how can Spike Lee pull this off? And he did. I quite like this film. Very surprisingly, I've got to say. I really enjoyed it.
Everybody keeps talking about how divisive this film is, and I got to agree.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate this. A lot of people seem to love this. I thought that it was an interesting story. I thought the plot was carried out very well. The first act is a little slow, doesn't seem right because stuff is happening, but it definitely feels sort of plodding to get to the second act. But once they get to the train, everything after that is quite well done. That being said, I kind of hated a lot of the visuals in this movie. I love Spike Lee in the way that he shoots things, but a lot of it was drone shots that were unnecessary. A lot of it was just like green screen backgrounds that just did not work for me. The movie overall, I'm glad I watched it. Probably will not watch it again. And that sucks because I love Spike and I love Denzel, but this was I wouldn't call it a miss, but it was a letdown for sure.
Well, I enjoyed it personally. Paul, have you seen this one?
No, I didn't see this one. So I do like Spike Lee films and Denzel, obviously always great. But yeah, between your two opinions there, I don't know, maybe give it a miss or wait to see this one.
Yep. And Sivner says it's because the cameras required by Apple are gross to look at. Yes, that is the case. All right, next up, we've got a big one coming out of the UK. June 15th, a 4K and Blu-ray dual format released from Studio Canal as part of the Vintage Classics line of the Titfield Thunderbolt. I love the comment on it. It was Travis over at Odyssey. First Krakatite and now the Titfield Thunderbolt. What are we doing here? This one is an Ealing Studios, kind of a lesser known Ealing Studios film. Brand new 4K restoration of the film. New piece on this. Tim Dunn on the railway that sparked the Titfield Thunderbolt. We got a bunch of archival extras. 32-page booklet included. I've never seen this one. Paul, you've seen this 8 times. How do you feel about this?
I wish I'd seen it 8 times. This is one of the Ealing comedies I haven't heard of. I've got quite a few of the Ealing films, and this is from the writer and director of Lavender Hill Mob, which is amazing, and that's one I think everyone must see. It's just one of the most tense, funny, witty films I've ever seen, and the performances in that will just like blow your mind at how good they are. So yeah, this one's probably, if it's following in that vein, I'm on board. Hopefully we get a local release through Studio Canal, because these vintage classics tend to come out under a label called Studio Classics here in Australia. So yeah, I'll probably wait and see if we get a local release of this one.
I want to shout out Maddie's comment here. Maddie's talking about big HorrorCon coming to my area in May, Buffalo Horror Garage Sale. Maddie is vending physical media. Check it out. Guests include Frank Hendelotter, Patty Mullen, Jill Sholin, Lisa Langois. It's going to rule. Langlois, however you say it. I think that's how you say it. I have been talking to the guy running the Buffalo Horror Garage Sale, trying to find a way to get up there. I don't think I'm going to be able to work out the timing, but this is incredible. First off, if you go for one of the 2 days, it's $5 to get in. That's it. If you go for both days, it's an $8 ticket for both days. How do you argue with that? In 2026, $5 for entry into a convention for one day is incredible. He wants to have Disconnected come out there, have a table. I'm trying. I would love to do it. I can't promise this, but I'm trying to make it a point to come out there to the 2027 show. Antenna would likely be sharing a table with me. We're going to figure something out. Definitely need to be a part of it, but it is something that I really hope people check it out. It is a great area, great part of the country that doesn't get a lot of this stuff. I'm working on some other things in Buffalo to hopefully get some more stuff coming out there. So Maddie, keep an eye out. If there's any if there's any people that you're in touch with theaters out there, let me know. We're working on some things at the moment, but go check out the Buffalo Horror Garage Sale. They've got big event coming, bigger next year. I'm also trying to get Mondo Macabro has never vended a convention before, and I'm trying to get there to be a presence for Mondo Macabro at this one. I'm working with the guy running it right now, so check it out. If you're even if you're not in the area, drive a long ways to go support. $5 for entry is something that we should all be championing in 2026.
We don't even get horror cons. We've never had one.
I mean, to be fair, it costs $14,000 to fly somebody.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. But we do have Supernova, and John Jarrett is there all the time. So
that's true.
Paul knows that.
Lisa the Langoliers is a really funny way to make fun of me. I appreciate that. Silent Mandible says, come to Delaware. We have a small building where all the corporations are. I would love to come do a convention in your small building someday. Let's talk about it. There's at least 3 cross streets in Delaware. We need to come out there. Next up, the hit letdown of the year for many people. May 5th, we are getting a 4K Blu-ray and DVD release from Warner Brothers of Wuthering Heights. Thankfully, this has quite a bit special features. We get an audio commentary with the director, Emerald Fennell. We get a 7-minute featurette, Jacqueline Duran, bringing Emerald Fennell's imagined Gothic world to life through costumes. We've got a couple other featurettes here, nothing crazy, but a handful, which is more than Warner Brothers can say usually. Either of you seen that?
I missed it theatrically, unfortunately, but give me the 1939 version with Laurence Olivier any day for Wuthering Heights. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Paul?
missed this one, but I did like Emerald's previous 2 films, Promising Young Woman, and I like Saltburn. I wish that had a physical release. I saw Suzanne mentioned this had some good parts to it, so if
this, she loved it.
Yeah,
I'm hearing the music is incredible in this.
Yeah, by Charlie XX of all people. I didn't expect that, but the lead single of Wuthering Heights, with that one that just came out, was it also has a duet with the legendary John Cale, who was a part of the Velvet Underground. Now that was a pretty interesting song, but it's surprisingly effective, very catchy.
I love the discussion happening about tax loopholes in Delaware at the moment. Jim is talking about Horrorhound in Cincinnati. Didn't Horrorhound just happen like last weekend? I got to go to Cincinnati one of these times for that con. I've heard it's incredible. Next up, speaking of really terrible photoshopped covers of Mila Jovovich, June 2nd, we're getting a Blu-ray and DVD release of Protector from this last year. I had barely heard about this movie. It basically just sounds like a knockoff Liam Neeson or Rambo type of movie, sort of a veteran war hero thinking that she's left her violent past behind, and now it's back, which this happens in, I don't know, 37% of all movies, it feels like right now.
Yeah.
I've never seen this. I'm also not a huge Mila Jovovich fan. Any thoughts from either of you?
I'm with you. I've never seen this, and tell you the truth, ever since Resident Evil 1, I've not been interested in Mila Jovovich's films.
Yeah. That's it, Paul. All right.
So I was going to say, when I saw the cover of this, I thought it was Uma Thurman, and then I saw the name.
Oh yeah, a little bit. And I won't say this is AI, but it looks really terrible Photoshop. It looks just like a screenshot from the film was green screened onto this poorly.
Yeah, awful.
But speaking of the greatest things ever, the film Goat coming to 4K and Blu-ray dual format, a Blu-ray release and a DVD on May 5th from Sony. I've only heard that this is surprisingly decent. I probably will not see it. Well, I shouldn't say that. Jonah might like to see it, so maybe I'll watch it someday. Wow, Danny watched Protector.
Oh, it's not. Oh, you've seen it? Okay. It's not great. Well,
he's one of 17 people that saw it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we'll take his word for it on that one, I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
I trust Danny. Trust him.
May 5th for GOAT. This is getting a 4K Dolby Vision HDR presentation of the film, an Easter egg replay, animal aesthetic, the style of GOAT, make your own pick and roll pizza bites with Aisha Curry, deleted scenes with the filmmaker intro, game recognizes game, making of GOAT, all-star lineup meeting the cast and crew. Yeah, either of you super into modern animation?
I don't mind super modern animation. Like K-pop Demon Hunters and Spider-Man, they're fantastic.
Yep.
But this actually just came out last week also in theaters here in Australia. Well, as I said, we get stuff really late. But Paul and I, we are not big sport lover movies, I should say. But this actually does look like fun. I will give it that.
I'm curious to check it out. All right, moving to our next one from indie label Scream Team releasing. April 6th, we are getting a Blu-ray release of The Demon of Serling from 2023. This is going to have an audio commentary, playing Demon Land featurette, and a making of featurette. This is a press disc, and this film says, Reagan Rossi discovers his neighbor, Mr. Yarley, is a local serial killer dubbed the Demon of Serling. The two men embark on a night of enlightenment leading to bleak and darkly funny consequences. Scream Team releasing. We don't get a lot from them, but I tend to check them out. They're actually surprisingly decent. I'm going to take a leap here and say, Paul and Tony, neither one of you have anything from Scream Team releasing?
No, sorry.
No, I don't. Yeah.
They're pretty good. Check out their site, especially if you're in the US. They do have an option if you want. You can buy a signed Blu-ray, which is signed by a lot of the cast and crew. Fairly inexpensive. Good looking titles usually. Next up, though, we are getting a DVD-only release of Looney Tunes Cartoons, the complete series. This was an HBO Max show covering 2020 to 2024. This will have 6 shorts created for the 2024 Paris Summer Olympics and the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympic Games. This is pretty damn cool. For those that have not seen this, this is pretty great animation, very similar to the recent Looney Tunes films, The Day the World Blew Up. Pretty great acting, good writing, fun show. It does suck that this is DVD only. Warner Brothers, please keep in mind, you're making Looney Tunes. You're not making GOAT, for example. But also, this is not made just for kids. A lot of us still love this shit, and we would love to see it in HD. Any thoughts on Looney Tunes overall?
Paul, you go first.
Yeah, I love it. I've got a few of the Blu-ray collections that have come out. It's stuff that I used to watch with my grandparents when they had it on VHS. So anything Looney Tunes, kind of, always happy to watch. If this was Blu-ray, probably would have been an instant purchase for me. I might still get it anyway because I do enjoy Looney Tunes, and I never had HBO Max when it came to Australia. I never signed up for it, so it'd be something I'd need to get on physical to watch. But yeah, it's great that it's still an IP that people still enjoy, and it's like if you said this is written well, obviously they're still putting the effort into making good Looney Tunes stuff.
I agree with Ronnie. DVD only is way better than nothing, and that's why I will absolutely be picking this up. I want to send the message that we want the stuff on physical still, so I will be contributing to that.
Oh, I'm a Looney Tunes fanatic. I absolutely love it. It's my childhood. I love it so much. But the newer ones, I got to tell you, I was very skeptical at first because I grew up with the classics.
Yeah, same.
But it really surprised me. I actually had fun with this one. I quite enjoyed it.
Yeah, the movie that came out last year was shockingly great.
Brilliant.
All right, next up, 88 Films had a few announcements this time. The next Jackie Chan 4K Deluxe release is coming on June 29th. This is coming in the UK only. Shout still has the rights here in the US. So they are putting out Armor of God from 1986. This one, have either of you seen Armor of God?
Oh, yeah.
I've not seen it yet. Yeah.
Ooh.
Great.
This is top tier Jackie Chan. This is one that if you've not seen it, you absolutely need to. It is definitely like an adventure martial arts type of film. The storyline is great. This one, we don't have any of the new extras listed yet, but it's 88 Films, and these deluxe ones, they have been given a lot of love to. How does this rank in your Jackie Chan listing?
It's definitely in my top 5 Jackie Chan films.
Top 5.
This is something. It's a really good one.
Yeah.
It's definitely one. If you haven't seen it, wait for this 4K release because no doubt it's going to look spectacular.
I got to be honest, the art here is really great. I don't love like the whole floating heads. Let's throw everything together. But with this film, it oddly makes sense because so much shit happens in this movie.
Oh yeah, if you've seen this film, you'll understand why this cover is is damn good.
Yeah. Jackie is great in this. Easily one of his best performances.
Absolutely.
Next up from 88 Films over in the UK on June 15th, they are getting Painted Faces. This is one of the titles that has come out from Shout here in the US as part of the Golden Princess titles. However, it was locked to just a box set. It was in the New Wave box set that they put out. So now you can just purchase this on its own, which is always a good thing. I don't love when stuff is locked to a box set only, because if you only want one title, it sucks because you're stuck with 3 or 4 other films. This one has an audio commentary by Frank Jang, an interview with the actress Cheng Pei Pei, Tony Rain speaking on Painted Faces, and some trailers. Either of you seen this one?
I haven't seen this one, no, but I'd like to.
No, yeah, but being Golden Princess, I wonder if it would come out with Imprint eventually, maybe.
You'll no doubt will come out with Imprint, because Imprint's got the Golden Princess library, so they'll be coming out soon.
Yeah, most likely. I'm still curious to see how Imprint is going to handle these smaller titles, because they've really only done the heavy hitters so far, which we're going to talk about some of those in a little bit. But I don't really see this one getting a 4K from Imprint, and it probably won't be getting one of their Steelbook releases, but it could once again be locked to a box set. And honestly, it does make sense for a title like this from a monetary standpoint, but this is one of those films. I'm glad it's getting another release. And yes, Maddie, Cheng Pei Pei from Come Drink With Me, also in Painted Faces with Sammo Hung. Next up from 88 Films is a US and UK release, and that is of Ping Pong from Fumihiko Sori. This is from 2002. It is hitting June 22nd in the UK on Blu-ray, June 23rd here in the US. We've got a slew of extras like subtitles and an interactive menu on this film, and that is it. I love all the comments making fun of this, saying this will be the Supreme Marty Supreme. I'm assuming none of us have seen this one.
No, I haven't.
Anybody in the chat seen Ping Pong? I'm very curious to see this.
I've seen Marty Supreme, but I haven't seen this one. So
What'd you think of Marty Supreme?
Loved it.
It's a great movie.
Phenomenal film.
Yeah.
Loved it.
All right, that is it for 88 Films. Next up is Eureka. These just announced, what would that be? This morning in the US, about 12 hours ago. Oh, wow. This is a weird life to be in the future.
You'll get the hang of it. I know.
All right. First up is Madhouse. This was previously released in the U.S. from Kino Lorber a handful of years ago. This is from 1974. This was an Amicus production and was released by AIP. This is going to be coming with some special features and some subtitles, which I don't think the U.S. release had subtitles.
No,
so this has a limited booklet, new writing on Madhouse by Christopher Stewardson, and an archival interview with the director, Jim Clark. This is going to have a new intro to Madhouse by horror novelist Stephen Laws, new visual essay on Madhouse by Mary Going, audio commentary by David Del Val. That was on the Kino release previously, an archival making a featurette and a stills gallery. Have you seen Madhouse?
I love Madhouse.
Nice.
Really good film with Cushing and Price together. Oh, it's a great duo from heaven.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Paul, have you seen Madhouse?
I've not seen Madhouse. I've seen a handful of Amicus films, and they do make good productions. But yeah, I haven't seen this one yet.
Fun movie. It's kind of odd that this is not up to a 4K. This is the same Blu-ray scan as before, but I get it. This probably I don't even know how the elements would be on this one if they still got them. Speaking of another one that I'm curious to see if it will ever get a 4K, but Empire of the Ants from 1977, also getting a Blu-ray from Eureka in the UK on June 22nd. This one has a limited booklet, new writing by Liam Hathaway. This also has a new introduction by Chris Cook, filmmaker and co-director of the Mayhem Film Festival. There's an interview with Kim Newman on here focused on Burt I. Gordon, commentary by David Delvell and Michael Verratti. And this is one you just have to imagine. If this was releasing a couple years ago, or if he was still with us, Mr. Gambon would be all over this one as well.
Oh, hands down. It's his specialty.
Yeah.
It's his specialty, the creature features. They're amazing. But this one is such a fun film.
Yep.
It is so entertaining.
It is quite cheesy, but it's Burt I. Gordon, so that's the reason. That's Mr. Big. Mr. Paul, any thoughts on Empire of the Ants?
I will have to get this one to see this film. So yeah, I'll have to get this one from Eureka.
Nice. All right, going to our next one. This one's a big deal. This is a worldwide premiere on Blu-ray. This is Richard Attenborough's directorial debut of Oh, What a Lovely War from 1969. This is going to have on here some new extras. We've got new commentary with Melanie Williams and Lawrence Napper, archival commentary with Richard Attenborough, a new interview with the film historian Simon Brown on depictions of World War I in British cinema from the Battle of the Somme to 1917, extensive making of doc presented in 3 parts, and that is it. I had never seen this previously. Either of you?
No, this was one I really wanted to see because I'm a huge Attenborough fan as a director. Because Gandhi is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Right.
But this one I've never seen. I've always wanted to.
Yeah, this looks good, and it's part of the Masters of Cinema line. I know quite a few people are maybe not complete, but collect a lot of the Masters of Cinema line. So curious to see this one. John is complete.
John is complete.
Jesus, John. My goodness. Brian has this on Japanese Laserdiscs. Very nice.
Interesting.
All right. Next up, we got a handful of things left, and then we're done with this. Kino Lorber has announced that their Spring into Action sale has started. Over 900 titles on sale this time. Again, free shipping has raised on the Kino site. It went from $50 to $60 now. Kino sales down here in the Australia. You guys don't have a ton of access to a lot of their stuff, right?
I don't think they ship to Australia.
No.
Personally. I don't think they do.
Nope.
I tend to get my Kino titles from Outrun if there's something I
here.
want, and I'll pre-order it usually.
Right. I'm sure lots of people are going to be sailed out this week with Criterion hitting, and Deaf Crocodile was earlier this week. We've got a couple others to talk about still tonight, but this is a big one for a lot of people. This is the first Kino sale of the year, and now there's one coming about every 8 or 10 weeks at this point. So check in the list if you're into it. They've got a lot of stuff happening in the sale. 900 titles is a lot. Usually it's only like 700 titles. I went through it this morning to see if there's a lot, and good Lord, there's a lot to recommend. Lots of collections this time, but the big one I really wanted to shine a light on, they're not always on sale, but the Milestone Films titles are very on sale this time. Stuff as low as like $6.50 for a Blu-ray, all the way up to about $10, $11. Lots of great stuff under the Milestone banner, so check those in too. We've got a comment. Last year, Kino sales were on the last Thursday of March, June, and September, and then Black Friday looks like they are following the same schedule this year. That is about right. So yeah, you can count on March, June, September, and then don't forget there's usually a long. The Black Friday one is usually long, like 5 or 6 weeks.
Do you usually find with Kino? So I was going to ask. Do you usually find with Kino the titles that you're after tend to come in that sale, and so you can sort of feel okay waiting?
It's tough. They usually you can wait for them on sale, especially if you're not a slipcover fanatic, because usually you can pick stuff up for somewhere between $10 to about $18 for the 4Ks on sale. So yeah. Hilton says hold off on the Kino Pink Panthers and get the 88 film set. That is true. There is something coming from 88 Films on that front. Don't sleep on the Sharam Mokri set from Deaf Crocodile. $27.50 for 4 amazing films. Literally some of their best titles. I adore that box set. Next up on our list, more Imprint. We just talked about the Golden Princess stuff.
Yeah.
Prison on Fire 1 and 2 coming on May 27th. And again, don't forget, these will not be actually on sale to pre-order until the 15th of April. Not really, as far as I can tell, nothing different as far as the previous Shout release that has been announced. They all are going to say new on the extras, but keep in mind that's new as in this cycle that is happening right now. New from Shout and Arrow and these guys. And don't forget, Arrow will be releasing this in the UK as well. The only thing that will be exclusive to this is they do have a hardcover booklet with this that's 60 pages that has new essays on both films by Panos Kostastas. That's probably the wrong way to say that, but hey, I'm gonna go out on a limb there.
You've actually done well.
Sweet. I think there was a letter N in there I completely ignored, but that's okay. Prison on Fire 1 and 2. I've actually not seen these. Either of you seen these?
No.
No.
That I'm looking forward to. It looks like a prison drama or prison action film, and I love those type of movies. So these ones I'm looking forward to seeing.
Yes, cannot wait to see these. I am very eager. A lot of the Golden Princess titles will be first-time watches for me. So as soon as they are announced by Arrow, I will finally have them. When does Arrow announce new titles? Is it tomorrow or next Monday? It is tomorrow, and the big current rumor is also on my shirt. They are likely announcing Wake and Fright on 4K for the US and the UK tomorrow. And then Diabolic DVD has announced that they've got a huge set of announcements. He's only knowing the US announcement, so he's saying it's going to be huge. And there's an out of left field box set, which I'm quite curious to see what that's going to be. Not really any major leaks this time. So very, very interesting. I wish I could stay up till midnight to post them tonight, but I'm probably going to be super late. So sorry about that tomorrow, everybody. All right. Next up from Imprint as part of this slate is John Woo's Bullet in the Head from 1990. Yeah. Huge title. This is one of those that people look at as their favorites, up there with Hard Boiled and The Killer. This one will also have an exclusive 60-page booklet with writing by Paul Bramall and James Guild. Any thoughts on Bullet in the Head, gents?
Classic.
This will be a first-time watch for me. Pretty much all the Golden Princess titles for me when they coming through are first-time watches. Yeah.
Have you seen Hard Boiled and The Killer yet?
Not yet.
Ooh, I've
got some good times ahead here. Trust me.
Rounding out this slate from Imprint is Once a Thief, another pretty giant title. This one has all of the extras that were in the Shout stuff, nothing exclusive like I mentioned, except for this 60-page booklet with new writing by Sean Gilman and Brian Tallarico. Once a Thief. Tony, you seen this one?
No, that one I haven't.
All right, this one says 3 orphans grow up to become art thieves under the tutelage of a crime boss. Romance complicates matters when the trio are double-crossed. Fairly classic type of trope-filled story. But once again, I've not seen this one either. Very curious to check this out. I'm dying to see it. Love the box design on this. The steelbook looks pretty fun. Yeah. I honestly kind of shocked that Imprint is going steelbook on all these in a hard box, but I think it's going to talk a lot of people into buying these.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, I'm not a huge steelbook fan personally, but if they're protected like they are in these boxes, nice, yeah. That I'm happy with.
Yeah, this will be very nice. Yeah. All right. Next up, we've got the Arrow Video Easter Carnage sale happening now. This is on sale March 26th or April 13th. This is on sale on their US site and their UK site. So check them out. That is a big deal for a lot of people. Do you guys ever get much from the Arrow sales?
Personally, no, unfortunately. I don't get much from the Arrow sales because I usually buy them, the titles I'm after, before they go on sale.
You buy them full price like smart people. Yeah. That was a joke, by the way.
I know.
What about you, Paul?
Yeah, same. I'm like same as Tony. If there's a title I want, I'll be pre-ordering it. I think they do ship to Australia, but I've never really had a look at the sales that are done on their website.
Yeah, the hard part is the U.S. Arrow sale kind of trash. I got to be honest. It still feels like, well, they're not bad prices, but it feels like what should be about the normal price for many of these. The UK sale is usually better, but it's even worse than it used to be. Arrow sales, they used to be incredible on the UK side, and now they're just good. They're not great, but it's still a great time to catch up on a lot of these. So check it out if you're into the Arrow stuff, which I think most of us are. Speaking of the UK, we've got a very British film coming on May 4th in the UK on 4K Blu-ray dual format from Screenbound, and that is Brimstone and Treacle from 1982. You might recognize this title because it was released previously by Vinegar Syndrome here in the US. Yeah. Either of you seen this one yet?
I love this film.
Nice. Tell us about it.
It's definitely it kind of lingers a line of folk horror in a way, but to me that's how I see it. But it is really, really a good film. Like, and of course now it's coming out on 4K, it looks incredible. It'll no doubt look incredible because from what I remember, it does have a great visual look to it.
Yes, and
for 4K this will be pretty damn good. Paul, have you seen this one?
No, I haven't. But as I'm looking at this cover and reading the extras, the synopsis, it does sound really cool. And I just love that title, like Brimstone and Treacle. That kind of just feels like a nice kind of title. So and Denham Elliott's in there. Love him. Joan Plowright.
What was that comment from Maddie K?
Maddie says it's disturbing as hell.
Absolutely, so true.
Okay.
Yes, Kirei, I'm always going to say here in the U.S. because in my mind, that's where I am, because that's where I always have been. My first time out of the country. Damn it. Give me a break.
Give him a break. Come on.
That is it for this week as far as announcements.
Oh, wow.
But now we get to cover what is coming out next week, in case you forgot. Terry, what's going on? I'm in the same country as
Hey,
you for the first
Terry.
time ever.
Hey, Terry.
Well,
how
I guess-
you going?
Terry, you might have been to the States before, so I shouldn't say that. I don't know. Next week, we are getting the Marty Supreme 4K from A24, the Salem's Lot 4K that Tony shared earlier. He's got it right next to him, and here
Right
it is.
here.
Look at that. We've got the Vinegar Syndrome stuff coming, so I won't really highlight those too much. Outbreak on 4K from
That's a good
Shout.
one.
I've never seen Outbreak.
It's a good one.
I need
It's
to.
good.
Um,
It's fun.
The Blade 4K from Criterion, which I am dying to get in.
Yeah.
I'm so eager to see that one. The retail release of She Killed an Ecstasy 4K from Severin. We're getting the Return of the Pink Panther from Kino. Like I said, you might want to hold out if you want the box set from 88 Films. Ray on 4K, which I'm very excited about that one. I really enjoyed that movie.
Ray's great.
Kino doing that one as well. Oh, look at that. Terry was in the States in 98 before shit went weird. Yeah, shit's been weird for quite some time. So, hey, we were in the same country at some point. Next, Greenland 2, The Migration, if you're into that. Also comes out next week. Samurai Revolution Trilogy from Arrow. Devil's Reign 4K from Severin is getting its retail release. The Gay Divorcee from Warner Archive. Scooby's All-Star Laugh Olympics from Warner Archive. The Man Who Came to Dinner from Warner Archive. Let's see, Tea and Sympathy from Warner Archive. It All Came True from Warner Archive. Lupin the Third Specials Collection from Discotech. SpongeBob movie, The Search for SquarePants, comes out next week. Honky Tonk from Warner Archive. Zone of the Enders from Discotech. Little Nicky Steelbook, if you're super into that, you can get it. That really weird looking cover.
I'm not commenting on that cover. Sorry.
Gambling Ship from, I believe that's Kino, or it might be from the studio as well. Malfeasance, 4 films coming from Kino as well. The Blue Light, Lenny Riefenstahl from Kino. Variety Girl from the studio. We've got the Sexploiters and Raw Love from Kino. I'm interested in that one as well. Prisoner of Zenda from Kino. Give Me a Sailor. Cutie Honey Tears coming next week. The Big Broadcast of 38 coming from Universal. Blazing Fist, the Takashi Miike film. Bangkok Dangerous. Razorblade Smile 4K retail from Severin. Dream Eater coming out next week as well. Last Train from Gung Hill getting its standard release. Danny Kaye's The Court Jester. And that's most of the big ones, other than Salem's Lot. Anything you're after, Tony?
Well, as I said earlier, I've already got The Man Who Came to Dinner.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm very interested in Ray.
Yes.
Outbreak. And of course, for me, being a bad movie lover, Body of Evidence. I'm interested in that.
Yeah. What about you, Paul?
Probably Outbreak. I do really like that film. I remember watching it in science class in high school and just like, yeah, this is my kind of like thing. And The Court Jester with Danny Kaye. That's a damn good film. I'd definitely love to, get that one. And yeah, Vampir's Lesbos. Yeah, good shout, Terry.
Yeah, I still need to get that Severin 4K. I'm very curious to see that in 4K, see how much better it is. All right, let's see. Paul, just since we're in Australia, what are some of your favorite shops in Australia?
Favorite shops in Australia?
Online or in person, both of them.
For online, definitely Outrun DVD. Based in Melbourne, gets in all the sort of UK and US stuff that we can't usually buy direct from those particular stores. Or if we can, it's very expensive. So it's great that he's got the stock here, and then shipping is much cheaper. Gets like Vinegar Syndrome from him. Deaf Crocodile now got that thing on sale. Love JB Hi-Fi. I'm so glad you got to go to one. Pity it wasn't a 20% off sale, because that's when we all descend on JB Hi-Fi. Red Eye Records in the city as well. I've recently only discovered that. I found a few really cool things from there. I'm a big musical theater fan, and I got a CD set of Jesus Christ Superstar from the original 1974 production in Australia. It's the full recording. So I'm like very happy with that. So yeah, good find there. And yeah, those are probably my main three for physical media stuff.
Yeah.
Any others for you?
Well, I took you to Red Eye Records last night, and it
was great.
You were in
I was a little overwhelmed immediately. I was like, oh, this is beautiful.
It was a great place. I grew up going. I love going to Red Eye. I've been there for many years. Love that place. In Sydney, there was a shop called Top 10 in George Street. If you see the antenna releasing post that Ryan did recently, you see some pics in there. I go there quite regularly, but pricing can be a bit extreme. But because of the Australian
I got to admit, some of it was very good too.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of like $10 Blu-rays.
True, they do. But for the newer titles, I mean, it is a bit pricey, but with the exchange rate, what can you do?
Yeah.
But of course, JB Hi-Fi, great place to go to. But online, as you said, Outrun DVD, they are phenomenal. Rick, who runs the joint, runs that website, his customer service, I'm telling you right now, incredible. And Paul, you'd no doubt agree with me on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Fast service. You always answer questions. You know, if you need to ask if a particular thing might be coming, you can always ask and he'll let you know. Always on top of social media posts, doing, you know, what's up for pre-order, which is always very helpful for us because we'll see an announcement from a label and we realize, okay, then he'll put up his pre-order announcement for the website here, which is always very helpful.
Absolutely.
Want to point out, Reggie took my transition. I was about to mention it was a rough week for Australians this week because Jamie Blanks passed. Jamie Blanks is somebody that I have respected and loved his work for quite some time. Died quite young. He was, what, 52? 54. For those that don't know, Jamie was the director of some really undersung films. Urban Legend, Valentine, two of the biggest ones, but really Storm Warning. For those that have never seen it, Umbrella released it fairly recently. It is incredible. I grew up on Urban Legend. I love Valentine, but when I finally saw Storm Warning, I was like, okay, this is like a voice. He had something to set out to do. And for those that don't know, Jamie's also a hell of a musician. He is incredible at everything he's done. He was a really nice person. He's done multiple live streams with Aaron Pinn over at Cult of Cinema. He's just an incredible person. Way too young. Jamie Blanks, massive impact, felt beyond even just his films and music. He was quite a very tender person, somebody that really cared about everything. I loved him as an individual. It's been a rough couple months for like celebrity deaths and people in this industry. It's only going to get worse too. I know that we, seeing how Hollywood and the music industry and the movie industry together was built around the 30s to the 50s. We're all about to start seeing many of our big ones pass over the next handful of years, and that's probably never going to stop at this point now.
But you know what's scary? 10 years ago, 2016, that was probably the biggest year of celebrity deaths. Of David Bowie, Prince, and many other celebrities as well. Now, 10 years later, it's basically the same. Basically repeating the same thing, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, I recorded an episode for a podcast this week when we were talking about Rob Reiner, and once again, everything that happened in December came back and hit me pretty good. Discussing his work and how young Reiner was and how unexpected, and obviously all of that happening was not something anybody could have planned on. It's been a rough few months, and Key-Ray, I wasn't going to mention it. Chuck Norris was a big one this week. I've never enjoyed a single moment anything as Chuck Norris has done, so I don't want to highlight it too much, but I'm sure it was big for lots of people. Tony, Paul, you guys big Chuck Norris fans?
Only a couple of movies. I'm not a huge Norris fan, but only a couple.
Yeah, same as Tony. And with Jamie Blanks, that was just a massive shock. Like, he even works a lot with Mark Hartley, who did Not Quite Hollywood. He was an editor and composer on that. So like, it's very synonymous with the industry in Australia. And as you said, Urban Legend, like, and then Storm Warning. What a great film! It's just when I saw that news, I almost couldn't believe it.
Yes, and then got a shout out that they always happen in threes. Nicholas Brendan was the big one the other day. Nicholas was a friend of Jeremy's, Jeremy Long, who's a friend of the show. Jeremy even went on social media and posted videos of them together and texts that they exchanged. They were close. Jeremy's been hit hard over the last few years. Comedians have had some massive losses recently. Back to Australia. Some of our smaller plans. You want to shout out anything we're doing over the next week or things that we get to see?
Well, I'm going to take. I have to take Laura and Brian, of course, to mainly Darling Harbour. Got to give them the full experience. They're going to go see the Harbour. The Harbour Bridge, the Sydney Opera House. We
haven't even seen the Opera House from afar yet. It's not been in any view that we've been in.
Well, we'll take you up close. Believe me, you'll have a field day. And on Monday, we are going for a nice 3-hour drive to Canberra, which is where the main National Film and Sound Archive of Australia is. So we'll be going there for a nice tour. It'll be my first time there too. Never been.
Yep.
So looking forward to that.
Terry says you got to get me to Harry's Cafe des Wheels.
Yo, yes, definitely. Because it's actually, we might actually do that tonight. It's on the same route, definitely.
All right.
Oh, Daniel says looking forward to catching up tomorrow. Oh yeah, and tomorrow we're having a little gathering.
A little gathering.
A little gathering.
Little.
Little gathering in honor of Brian and Laura's visit. So, people, believe it or not, there are some Aussies out here who love Ryan's show and love Ryan, and of course, they're looking forward to meeting Laura. Like, people are coming from interstate, like Kirei, for instance.
Kirei is driving 8.5 hours to be here tomorrow, and
just for this event.
I'm so I'm stoked. I cannot wait to hug Kirei.
And Suzanne Bolin, who is also a member of our Imprint family, the Imprint Cast family, I should say, she came all the way from Adelaide just for this.
Yep, got to meet her yesterday and get to see her again.
Nice. Yeah, very much looking forward to tomorrow, guys. It's going to be fantastic.
Oh, great.
The crazy thing is our show next week is going to be from not the US and not Australia, but yet a third country. So we'll be talking about that soon. So much to cover. It's going to be wild. We got a lot of announcements this upcoming week. I get to tell more stories about what happened this week. Live with Dr. Will next week. I think that's all we got for the show. Though we got a full day ahead of us. We got to go get ready.
So,
yeah. Paul, any thoughts? Anything else you want to share before we head out?
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you for having me. I love watching the show every week, so it's really amazing to be a part of it. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
We love to have you, and everybody's shocked with how beautiful you are, Paul.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I remember somebody commented about you being handsome earlier in there, and yeah, I'd say you're a beautiful human. We love to have you be a part of the family.
Wait till you meet in person.
All right.
Yeah,
I think that's
literally see you tomorrow.
Literally, it's
literally,
amazing.
indeed.
Tony, any last thoughts?
Thank you once again for inviting us on the show, and of course, having you here in Sydney and looking after you and Laura means the world. I love it. Thank you.
Well, it's an honor for us. We appreciate you all. I'm glad that we can still make this happen, even from literally 8,500 miles away from my home. On that note, we'll see you all next week. Stay safe.
See you, everyone.
See you then.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you for watching The Disconnected. On the way out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, that you've liked the video, and that you've copied the link to be able to share it with someone else that may appreciate this.